your thumbnails, Shadow, do you use Photoshop?
Oh yeah, I definitely use Photoshop. Oh yeah, I definitely use
You pay for a
Photoshop.
subscription.
I mean,
You pay for a subscription.
I pay for
You pay for a subscription.
I pay for Premiere Pro, but I don't pay for
Uh-huh.
Photoshop.
Okay, interesting.
I mean,
Interesting.
I
So,
probably could, but like I just figured because I need Premiere Pro to keep updating, and then like I have to keeping up with the updates for Premiere
mhm.
Pro, so it's kind of like I might as well just have it officially so I can get the updates.
What about trying out DaVinci Resolve?
I use that too. That's
Okay, because
that's what I use for my if I feel like making an intro, I'll use DaVinci Resolve for that. It's pretty good. It's just as good as like Premiere Pro. To be honest, it's just that it has more. Premiere Pro has more ready templates available. It's more supported.
right.
But if
All
you
right,
need
that's it.
like an easy video editor, definitely I highly recommend anybody use Resolve over Premiere if you can't pay for it.
I bought Resolve specifically because I was like, Premiere costs too much on
I mean,
like an annual.
I think I'm paying like
Mhm.
$20 a month for Premiere Access, so it's not crazy. I mean, like total for the year, it comes out to be
Yeah,
something, but like per month, it's not that big of a deal. So
for the year, it's the same. It's about the same price as DaVinci Resolve is for the one-time purchase. That's
but
why
wait a
I
minute,
was like,
isn't DaVinci
ooh.
the Resolve is free, isn't it?
There's a free version, but there's a paid version that has a bunch of features. So you could pay for the paid
Oh, okay.
version with
How much
all
is
these
that?
AI features. It's about the same price as buying a subscription with let me check. I'll tell you. I think it was one something, like 100 and something. Let me just
Okay,
check.
so it ends up, yeah, you're right. It ends up being the same price then. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a good program without a doubt. I think sometimes like Premiere makes things a little bit complicated. Like Dissolve kind of like
Yeah.
Resolve. I keep going Dissolve. Resolve kind of like makes it more stream forward and make it more the shortcuts are a lot more easier.
Yeah, I've been trying to compile like a collection of software that can do the job of like the Adobe Suite and software like that
Yeah,
without it being a subscription because everything these days is just a bloody subscription.
yeah. I mean,
So
I think there's a there was like an online Photoshop program, and it was pretty good. It mimicked
mhm,
Photoshop pretty well.
mhm.
I have to find that, but it pretty much
Isn't
had everything Photoshop had. And
I
Photoshop
think I
had
know. I
everything.
might know what you're talking about. There was one that people use called Canva, but that's very basic.
That sounds like it might have been it. I might have it still
It's just
in my
it's
PC. I just don't
probably
know what it's called.
Canva.
What's it called? How
It's
you say
probably
it?
Canva.
How you spell it?
Canva. I think Canva. Canva. I think it's free.
CNV.
I
Yep, I
used it
got it.
at
Yeah,
work.
I have it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one. That's the free Photoshop. But yeah, I think there's the one I use for Photoshop though. The one that I would switch to with like I still have Photoshop, but from Photoshop I'd want to do Affinity. I've heard it's similar to Photoshop,
Never
but
heard
it's
of
a
it.
one-off payment. So
Uh,
yeah.
hey guys, we are live. What up, everybody? How's it going? It's been a minute, but we're back and ready for more. I was debating whether we should come back after the Squish 2 was announced and stuff like that, but I said, freak it. We got enough stuff to talk about. Let's just go live on Sunday. Sorry, guys, that this podcast is so inconsistent. But if you've been a long time viewer, you already know that it is what it is. Hopefully, when things start getting more together with my living situation, I'll have more time. But even if I do have more time, the amount of videos that I like highly edit is gonna go down. Like it's just gonna be me talking about probably the latest game I finished, which I probably want to do soon for a certain game that I'm playing, but we shall see. So what's going on, everybody? Ricardo, Mormar, Nightwolf, Ace, Storm Emperor, Night Fury. How's everybody's doing? Thank you for being with us on this Sunday evening. Let's see. We don't have a full party here, but we're expecting Bao to show up at any moment. Don't expect anybody else, so it is what it is. Urge Cruster, what up? Your Mix, what up? All right. Let's start out with the intros. We're gonna jump right into it. Let's start off with the intros. We back. So go ahead, Blake.
It is that time. What's going on, guys? It's me. It's your boy, Westtown HD. Guys, we are back for the first podcast. This is the first podcast of the year, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, 3 months into the year. We're back, guys. We're back. Finally back. We got so much stuff to talk about. You would not believe it. Sit back, enjoy. We might be covering some older stuff, but hey, listen. What's important is that you're here with us, and we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Riku.
Riku's on one. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Glad that we are back. Episode and yeah, you guys are doing well.
You guys have to excuse Riku. He's on his ghetto mic. He doesn't think we're good enough for his good mic. So, listen, guys, I try to convince him to make sure his other mic is on point, readily available. But you know what? There's only so much things I could do around these parts. But I'm sure he's doing his
trying
best.
To make me the villain here, huh?
A little bit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Q, go ahead, man.
It is I, your husband of dreams. We're back for another year of waifus. I'm sure you guys know there's a lot of new waifus here coming out. Right now we're experiencing the Monster Hunter waifus, and then there's gonna be a bunch more coming out. So yeah, let's get the show going. Let's do this.
All right, and you guys know who I am, Mr. JRPG Shadow. And guys, let's start this off. Let's kick this off with what everybody is playing. Q, what game have you completed lately? I'm just asking.
The way you say it is sort of like heavy-handed. It's like, so what have you been doing, right?
No.
I am actually playing Monster Hunter. You know,
you have to get too descriptive with Monster Hunter. We're gonna talk about it. Go ahead.
Right. So I think that I did also. I have been, testing out a few other games on my PC because I haven't really been playing games for most of the holidays, much of anything. So I've been trying to get back into playing games like regular games, not just like jumping on a sports game with my brother just to chat. So yeah, so I've slowly been trying to get back into gaming. I actually ran into someone who watched my game streams over the holidays at someone's birthday, and they were like, "You need to stream more." So yeah, I am gonna try to sort of like, get the ball rolling again.
I hope so, Q. I can't I don't like to put people on the spot, but what's the last game you saw the credits on, man? I'm just
the last game I saw the credits on. I think it would have to be Stellar Blade, but let me see if there's any other.
Are you from Stellar Blade?
Stellar Blade was I was deep in Stellar Blade for like
really?
a portion of last year. Yes, I was,
really?
And I can't wait to go back to Stellar Blade because I want to play it on the PC.
So wait a minute, but you finished it. You rolled the credits on it, right?
I believe I did. I believe it's been a while.
Blake,
it's been a while.
You want to give him some quizzes? I didn't finish Stellar Blade, but you want to quiz him a little bit on Stellar Blade? I respect you, Q. I'm just trying to make sure we got like the full audit trail here.
We can try. I played it a long while ago, but I think I should remember a few things. Let's see. What do you got, Blake?
For the good of the stream, I won't ask anything too spoilery. I can't really ask anything too spoilery at all. I'm just gonna be a bitch and check your PlayStation trophies. Give me a second. Let's see here. Do I have Q on PlayStation? Hold on.
You should have me on PlayStation. I think I've got everyone on PlayStation. Is it that?
Mr. Campbell. His trophies are his friends are private, but his trophies are public. Let's go down the rabbit hole of Stellar Blade. All right. Let's see here.
It should say complete, right?
Interesting. You got 44% of the trophies, and I got 63. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's just.
I don't platinum games, so let's just to be clear.
That's why I said I only got 14%. Let's see here. Hidden trophy.
I think we could think 44% is probably the game completion is probably somewhere in there. I think.
Brother, when did you play this game? Was this in December?
So when I played Stellar Blade, it was during that time when my missus was away, and I literally would come in from work stressed out and pissed off, and I'd put on Stellar Blade. That was the only thing it was one of the only games that could keep my mind clear, because it was just waifus and just swinging swords around, and I was having a fun time. Up until my kid went to school and told the teacher that he saw something scary and he had nightmares, and then they were like, "Oh, what are you doing in your house?" And I was like, "Frack, I'm playing Stellar Blade." So yeah. Anyway,
Alright.
that's beyond the point. Beyond the point, Stellar Blade is probably the last one I saw credits on. But
fair enough. I'm gonna let you have it, Q. I'll let you have it. You know, I just gotta make sure games were being played on the podcast. That the panel was playing games. That's all I had to make sure of. You know, just you know.
Oh, you know what's another one that I've rolled the credits on, that WWE. Surprisingly, my brothers insisted that I jump on with them. I got
I don't know if I count
WWE.
that, but all right, cool. All right, you know what,
That
Q,
counts.
You're good.
You go through the story mode. You get all the characters. I did WWE. I think it was 2K24, 25. One of those. That was all. That's the last one too as well. So
right.
yeah,
So
I played a few games.
Q, there's a gold trophy for seeing the ending, and you don't have that trophy, my guy.
I don't have the gold trophy for seeing the ending.
Unless you got a different ending or the bad ending.
The bad ending. What the fuck is a bad ending? I don't
know. Stellar Blade, like Nier, has a few endings, but I'm not seeing
Okay,
any ending trophies on your account there, buddy.
You know what? I'll let him go. So he's playing. He's playing games. He's out here playing games. All right, that's the important part. All right, you're off the hook for now, Q. All right.
Okay.
Blake, what
Run the
playing,
ropes.
man?
What am I playing? I just spent the last 32 hours. Well, I worked today, so I didn't get to play today. But Saturday and Friday, your boys spent 14 hours on Friday, and then another, however many, 16 hours on Saturday, just playing Monster Hunter Wilds. I beat the main story, aka low rank, aka the tutorial, and now I've gotten into high rank, which is where the real game begins. I'm loving it. It's great.
All right. Riku, what you out here playing?
I am out here playing Eiyu Densetsu Kuro no Kiki 2.
Nerd!
AKA The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak.
That's what it's called in English. You call it Trails Through Daybreak 2. You know? All right.
Of course. Hey, Shadow, what do you think they're gonna call Kai no Ki?
Kai no Kizuki? I have no idea, because Koro was black or something like that, and
Trails Through Dawn. Just think about it.
Well, they can't call it that, Blake, because Dawn means Akatsuki, and we already have Akatsuki no Kizuki.
What?
Kiseki.
Isn't Akatsuki no?
Nerd.
That's all I know.
Nerd.
Point is, they can't use it. So you're wrong. Point is, Daybreak 2 is fun. I'm going through it, and a lot of nice additions that I am actually surprised are actual good stuff.
I can't tell if you're going in and out or not. Does anybody else hear him, or is it just me?
I mean,
he's going in and out. He's
in a gas station, but
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Riku, you're enjoying Daybreak. That's all that matters, I guess.
That's true.
Bob.
Was that so deflated?
Hello, everyone. I was taking a nap and my alarm didn't go off, so here I am.
I knew it. He slept too late.
I'll be real with you. I'm almost glad because I was sleep deprived and it sort of helped. But we're here. I've been playing Monster Hunter Wilds. I also rolled credits. What was that? Yesterday afternoon. I am also in high rank. Game's fun. I'm sure we'll talk about it in full. But yeah.
All right. And I've been playing Daybreak 1. Trails Through Daybreak 1. It's taking me a while to finish it. Finally locking in, as the kids say, and trying to get it done. Last game I finished was Tales of Graces Remaster. Treated that as my second playthrough. Used the grade shop. Got a bunch of CC capacity to unleash holy hell combos on anything and everything, and it was so much fun. There's a lot that goes into that game, like your weapons, the properties of your weapons, tampering equipment, your skills, that they hold different properties for hitting plant types, insects, nova, and it's damn, there's a lot that goes into this. I forgot. And then of course, the different characters all have different play styles. It's a lot of fun. That is definitely probably had to rearrange my top Tales game, probably in top 5, probably. But yeah, ultimately a really good game. Really good remaster.
Shane Pelvic couldn't be here to hear you say that because her validation would go through the roof.
Oh man, well I'm glad. What else I've been playing? In January, I played Freedom Wars, something that probably a lot of people didn't play. Good
Never heard of it.
remaster as well. They streamlined a lot of in-game mechanics.
This is a remaster for Freedom Wars?
Yeah, damn nigga, where you been?
I did not know. I did not see the.
In Q's defense, they did not advertise this game.
Exactly. I did not see anything. Not an email. Nothing. I didn't know they did a remaster. That's out of nowhere. Bloody hell! Let me check that out.
You know what? That's who did it? Bandai Namco. That's their problem. They didn't advertise the game enough. People were calling it a Black Friday pickup. I was like, God damn, that's a shame.
Really?
I don't even think they did a physical for it either.
Yeah.
Holy crap! It's got mixed reviews on Steam.
Really?
January the 9th, mixed reviews on Steam. January the 9th, 2025. Bandai Namco is publishing it. Freedom Wars Remaster. That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, surprisingly good remaster. Apparently came out of nowhere, even though we should have known about it. But great. I thought it played great on the Steam Deck. I thought it played great on my PC.
Yeah, this is definitely a Steam Deck game.
I forgot the story completely. It does end abruptly, and I'm like, God damn, that's it. And then I'm like, I'm fully remembering anything. I'm like, oh yeah, it does end like that. So I'm hoping this remaster was a thing to do a second game, even though I know the sales aren't there. So it's kind of weird how companies pick games to be remastered, because nobody would have thought this game would ever have a second shot at life, and it does, and you know it's not going to sell well. So I would just like to be a fly on in the conference room of these meetings when they're deciding what games to remaster, because I was just like, where do you see the market here? But anyway. Either way, it was a fun game. I really enjoyed my time with it. I wish I can go back and get my sentence down to 0, but I'm like, I don't feel like doing all that. All right. That's everybody who we're currently playing. Let's get into our first topic. Let's talk about the big boy in the room, kind of. That's not Monster Hunter. Let's talk about Pokemon.
Ooh.
Hey, let's
talk about it.
Newest Pokemon Legends of EA got a new official gameplay trailer, and it's got the internet talking as Pokemon normally does. But is this a pickup for everybody? And what are we feeling here on this one?
I
kick it off?
am actually feeling excited. From a gameplay perspective, I'm excited.
So is this game taking place before X and Y, or is it after X and Y?
After X and Y.
Actually, you know it has to be, because like that really tall guy was really like a homeless.
AZ, yeah.
He was homeless as hell in X and Y, from what I remember.
Yeah, homeless as hell, and now he owns a hotel chain.
Yeah, he owns a brothel. I mean a hotel, but yeah.
Hey, yeah, yo, whoa.
Make sure Sonya is working there. Anyway, so yeah, so I guess we're all excited for Pokemon. Maybe it's not Riku, but are we all excited for this one?
Even if Riku says he is excited, he's lying. He's gonna flip flop at the last second, like he did with Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, did you?
Did
really?
He? I didn't know you got it on Scarlet and Violet.
No, I remember. He said on the podcast, he said he was gonna pick up Scarlet and Violet. He was super excited for the Josuke duck, and then like the month before, and he went, "No, I'm not getting it."
Oh yeah. Well, he's not. That's what you mean.
I'm sorry if I'm not allowed to change my mind. Like, people can do that.
No, you made a promise, you motherfucker.
I did not make a promise.
Riku out here breaking promises. Oh, you hate it. You hate to see it.
So you talk about
Just like how this motherfucker flip-flopped on Xenoblade X. He ain't picking up Xenoblade X once me either.
If you know anything about Elroy, the Oathbreaker, then I guess I am bad.
Anyway, Bob, what were you saying?
I said, can we talk about why this game's got the internet abuzz instead of just being a new Pokemon game, though?
Well, it's a new Pokemon game, so like, you know, it's always being talked about. It's always it's a big game, but as always with Pokemon, they can't seem to get their visuals together. So that seems to be the topic of conversation here.
Sir, that's not the talk. What are you talking about? The gameplay, sir. Pokemon's playing real time.
Oh, you mean the whole thing where you can run and your Pokemon moves with you, kind of thing?
I could have sworn we did that in Arceus 1.
Yeah.
All right. So to break this down for everyone, So, Pokemon is not only going real time. You actually have to like dodge out the way. You have to maneuver your Pokemon out the way. There's no more PP. Everything runs on a cooldown now. So it's like an actual real time game. And besides that, we could see the future of the entire series go this direction. Because if you notice, Pokemon Champions, that battle simulator was revealed the same day. So if you want your turn-based fix, they're giving you a completely separate platform system for it. So
It's like
we could see
Evolution.
mainline Pokemon go this direction with Gen 10.
The only thing I would say with this combat system, though, when I look at it, it's like the trainer moves first and the Pokemon follows the trainer. I kind of wish it was like the trainer just like stayed still and then you controlled the Pokemon itself. That would be even better.
It might be 2 different buttons, but I doubt they'd make that complicated. But you're right, it might be a little weird having to move the trainer first and then waiting like a second for the Pokemon to follow you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. But I mean, I'm happy to see the new things because for the longest while we've been saying Pokemon is stagnant. It hasn't changed for so long. Blah blah blah. So it's good to see some new stuff in it.
Of course, yeah. Of course, we got Megas back, and they seem to be rebalanced since there's a timer on them. There's a lot of little things here. Like on the surface, just it's Pokemon. But if you like get into the weeds of it, this is very, very different.
I think more than anything else, the thing I'm probably most concerned about is how is this going to perform. Like when I say perform, as in like how is this going to run on the Switch and then the Switch 2?
We already see in the trailer there's not cooldowns, there's slowdowns. So running on Switch 1 it's already going to be business as usual.
Yeah,
Switch 2 we might see next month maybe.
It's interesting because Q, you said that they're changing things up from the traditional Pokemon games. I don't know, man. Call me old fashioned, call me an old head, call me an unk. I don't know. I like me 8 badges in an Elite Four. Call me crazy, all right? Maybe this game isn't for me. But like, I don't need you to change that formula up. I like going through the region, collecting the badges, and going to the Elite Four and whipping wholesale ass.
You like Dragon Quest. You like something that doesn't change.
You know what? Maybe. I don't know. For Pokemon,
did you not like Violet and Scarlet or Arceus?
I like the Scarlet and Violet. I just wish they ran better. But I really did enjoy Scarlet and Violet, and it had a nice open world nature, even though it wasn't. I mean, it was open world, but like you couldn't tackle the gym leaders in any order you wanted. But besides from that,
I mean, you could. Yeah, that's why it wasn't recommended.
Yeah,
it's just their levels weren't dynamic. So
exactly,
go right to the gym and get yoked up. Yeah,
they made dynamic levels. Like I don't know how hard is that. Like if you have 2 or 3 badges, the gym leader uses one team, or they use another team, or their levels are this way. Like I don't know why Pokemon can't figure that out. It's weird. Anyway. With all this new stuff for Pokemon ZA, looking forward to the Mega Evolutions. The new battle mechanics look okay. Again, I'd rather just be commanding Pokemon, but who knows? I say this for every Pokemon game. Like I don't really have all that much interest in it, but it's one of those games that like FOMO gets me, and it's just like I know it's gonna end up in my possession one way or another. So it's like I have no interest to get it now, but I know when it drops, $60 is magically gonna, or maybe $70 might magically empty my bank account. And for some reason on Switch, I'm just playing the game. So,
that's gonna be crazy if they do decide to make this the first $70 Pokemon game.
Damn what they're doing.
Let's see it.
Damn what they're doing. Easy.
Shadi, you say you're gonna be playing this on Switch, yeah?
Where else can I play it?
Because I seem to remember you didn't play Scarlet and Violet on Switch.
No, I did play Scarlet and Violet on Switch.
Oh.
I tried to.
It's crazy that your boy's exposing you like that.
I mean, I did try to play it through other means after I finished the game, but
Chat, he dumped his save file and his ROM and emulated it. Totally illegal.
Hey, why you?
What are you talking? Nintendo, I don't know what you're talking about. Nintendo, I don't know.
Totally 100% legal. Dumped a copy of the game.
Nintendo, if you're listening, I don't know what they talked about. I would never do. I would never do that. I play your games fair and square. I buy them. I got the receipts. So
there's that guy that Nintendo PR like, yeah, we're about to send Shadow a copy of what? What? No, never mind. He's not getting that copy of Pokemon Special
About
Edition.
to send me a
Switch
cease and
to.
desist. About to hit me with a freaking lawsuit. Like I want 20% of your earnings for the rest
For
of
the
your life.
rest of your life.
Oh my goodness.
Nintendo Wild. Oh,
We got
Speaking of
super
wild,
chat.
we got a super chat from Cranberry. We got the big boy. What's he saying here? Glad to see the pod back after 13 months. How would you guys feel? Wait, that's not correct.
I'm about to say
How would you guys feel about a tactical Pokemon where it's turn-based but more movement and features, or is real-time more appealing? You mean when you say turn-based and more?
You got to
like-
go more in depth than that with like.
You mean like Persona, like where it's more flashy, or like what? What do you mean by? Yeah, what do you mean by that, Cranberry?
Listen,
Because when I read Tactical, I
heard-
was thinking, oh, Fire Emblem or something. But we kind of have that.
Yeah, Pokemon Conquest. Yeah.
Hey, I hear
The new
I hear
Conquest would be
turn-based.
cool.
Just give me turn-based all day. I'm good with turn-based. I don't need.
I'm
this
happy.
real-time stuff. You know.
I'll take Pokemon where it plays kind of like Trails. Not Trails, sorry, like Tales of. So Tales of Pokemon, yeah. So that it's like real time. You're in an arena. Like when you start a battle, a big arena pops up, or maybe you're just in the same area, and it just makes something to block you from just attacking everything else, and then you just fight that character in front of you, and you move around, you dodge, you spin, you attack, combos.
You said more like Fire Emblem. But yeah, we had a game like that, Cranberry, but it was more basic than Fire Emblem. But a lot of people do want them to try Conquest too. So
I need them to go tactical, like
or even like
Fire
a Pokemon Fire Emblem crossover, but instead of being Pokemon or Fire Emblem, it's an idle game. It'd be pretty cool.
It's a what?
But then
wait a minute.
the one thing I will say though, if you want your Pokemon fix, there've been a ton of clone games like Pokemon clone like games popping up on Steam. So if you have,
listen, nothing's gonna be Pokemon. I'm not.
That's
any
yeah.
other.
I'm not saying some janky one.
Look at like Power Worlds and stuff like that. Like
Not Power World. Not Power World.
Nothing gonna be a Charizard. Nothing gonna be a Pikachu. Nothing gonna be a Zangoose.
There are good like inspired games out there like Koromon and stuff. Don't write them all off now.
There are some good ones. Exactly. I mean, I played one recently. I think it's installed on my Steam Deck. Where it's a more mature take on Pokemon. If you know what I mean. It's Pokemon, but there's some mature themes involved in the whole. I think it's called Yarimon. Is it? Am I saying that correctly? Yarimon.
That sounds really horny.
I have not heard of that one.
It's maybe like fucking Moemon.
And of course, Cranberry. You can also check out Pokemon fan games. That community is always thriving.
Yeah,
Yes.
I did that like mid last year. I was going into fan games. They were pretty good.
This one has very
really fucking
positive.
challenging, but really good. How are we feeling about Chikorita, Totodile, and Tepig? Who we got day one?
Chikorita's time is
Tepig. No, Tepig. Chikorita can suck it. I once had a Bayleaf and kicked my ass, and I had a what was I using to fight this bloody Bayleaf? It was a Darkrai, and it kicked my Darkrai's ass. I hate Bayleaf. I think it's
Wait,
suck.
what?
How the hell
You lost to
What were you doing?
How did you lose to a Darkrai?
What the fuck?
I had a Darkrai, and I was fighting a Bayleaf, and for whatever reason, I kept trying to put the bloody thing to sleep, and it wouldn't go to sleep. And then it kicked my ass with a sword.
Why'd you put the sleep nightmare Pokemon to sleep? Kill it, Q. Like what?
No, I tried to put Chikorita to sleep. I had the Darkrai.
Wait,
Right?
then how could you not though? Like, what were you doing?
I don't
wrong?
know what
It's
was
just
going
a
on.
Bayleaf.
I don't know what was going on with this guy's Bayleaf.
Doesn't Darkrai have like guaranteed sleep or something like that, like ability or something?
The Chikorita would go to sleep for one turn and then wake back up
Okay,
again.
if this was
the weirdest-
recent. Dark Void, his signature move was nerfed, but even then, like, just kill it, bro. You can learn Ice Beam. Is a
No,
Darkrai.
At the time, I had a bunch of sleeping moves. I was like, this was the first time I just got a Darkrai. I was like, I'll just put everything to sleep and kick its ass. It worked for everything except this bloody Chikorita. So
Wait, where are you? Okay, what game are you playing? Firstly,
that was Pokemon. I think it was Y. I think it was Y at the time.
okay.
That's
So,
back
like,
when Darkrai was so broken.
I
Yeah,
was
he
gonna
was
say,
sick.
as someone who hasn't played Pokemon since like Gen 4, it just sounds weird to say, oh yeah, I'm out here trying to catch a starter Pokemon with a Pokeball. It just sounds weird to me.
I was watching a starter
was
Pokemon, by the way. I was
battling
battling someone who had like a Bayleaf or Megalium. I think whichever one is the final form. He had the final form of Chikorita, and the bloody thing wouldn't go to sleep. I kept trying to put it to sleep, and it woke up again and kept hitting me.
Oh, so you were fighting it. You weren't trying to catch it.
No, so it was a 1v1. We were level 100.
There's a
And
lot to dissect here, Q. I just need you to know that.
he-
Like, how do we arrive in a situation where you're getting beat by a Meganium with a legendary Pokemon with high
I
special
don't know, man.
defense?
I don't know. And you know what? I think it wanted killed my Darkrai. That's what I think. I think it wanted to kill it. It's weird.
Anyway,
Really weird.
Anyway, the starters. Who we got? I know Q doesn't like Chikorita. Racist.
I'm going Chikorita because it's obviously going to get a new Mega, and I think
Lock in.
it's finally
Lock
going to be
him in.
awesome.
Lock him in. If they show the Mega and you don't fucks with it, Bow, you're locking in Chikorita. Lock it in. Lock it in, because I'm telling you right now, that Mega is not going to say Meganium. Meganium is one of the fucking ugliest Pokemon ever, bro. I swear.
Damn.
Now, if I was picking based on who I like the most, it'd be Totodile. But I can feel it in my bones. Chikorita's time.
Alrighty, man. Gen 2 has 2 starters, Cyndaquil and Totodile. It is what it is.
Yeah, hold on. What's with all the Chikorita hate? Like I seen that on the timeline a lot.
Very
People hate
damn
Chikorita.
good thing about it. I mean, the anime, they tried to push the agenda so crazy in the anime. They're like, oh, Chikorita, it's Ash's best friend. Ash loves Chikorita. Chikorita's got to Listen, bro. I've never met a Pokemon, a starter nonetheless, more dog shit than Chikorita, bro. I swear.
Yo.
Chikorita's fine. Bayleaf is like, okay. But Meganium? Oh my gosh, dude. You fucking sneeze and Meganium's dead.
Yo.
Absolutely just literal dog water.
Yeah, I didn't think Meganium was that bad. I like Chikorita. She was like, I don't know, like all 3 Johto starters. I kind of like, I like them all. I don't really have one except for Cyndaquil, but like, I don't hate any of them or anything.
What do you say? What do you mean by except Cyndaquil? What about Cyndaquil?
Nah, Cyndaquil, he's
bro,
my favorite. He's my favorite.
I
you saw what
thought you
Cyndaquil
had
did, man.
Cyndaquil hate. I mean, just I just thought you were gonna be like, except Cyndaquil. I like everyone else. No, but if you like Cyndaquil, you're good people. It's all right.
Yeah, Cyndaquil is my guy. Like people were wondering why we got Tepig instead, and I saw some Tepig hate on the timeline as well.
Tepig's also like, Tepig's
Yeah,
kind of.
people have always found Tepe kind of underwhelming. Him being another firefighting starter did not help his reputation.
I think he should have been Fire Dark. Like I feel like Emboar felt more like a Dark type than a. Doesn't he also only get like Arm Thrust as a fighting type move by level up or something weird?
Yep.
That's terrible.
I'm sure they'll fix that.
I'm going Tepig. 5 starter all the way, 100%. No one can ever use Chikorita. That thing sucks. So
Chikorita hate here is just too.
I will battle
We got,
you with my
we got a
Chikorita.
super chat from Sebastian saying Chikorita's top tier garbage, my guys. I can't see. Chat's never wrong. Chat is never wrong.
Why? I never understand that. Like, are we
This is
coming
the
from
first time you're hearing of this.
Are we coming from a purely like gameplay standpoint or a design standpoint?
I'm going from every avenue, bro. It doesn't look great. It's not great for battle. It's got weak. It's a bulky grass type, and grass has like so many weaknesses. So it's
yeah. Just start a fire. That's it. Just start a fire and it's done.
Yo, what the hell? Yeah, I like Chikorita, but I'm not gonna start.
Also, seeing Bao battle Q after Q just said he lost a Darkrai to a Bayleaf is gonna be wild.
Yo, I never claim to be a Pokemon master when it comes to battling Pokemon. Just accept that as it is. I mainly stick to the story. I get my badges, get my favorite Pokemon to level 100. I don't even try to like balance my team. I don't care about, I need to have one Pokemon for this and one for that. I'm like, this Pokemon looks nice. I want this in my team. So
I feel like Shadow, you used to competitive battle a while ago, right? I feel like I remember seeing you and Bao fight off at one point.
Yeah, I used to dabble in competitive.
Back on like Sun and Moon, X and Y, like 3DS days.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I think me and Bao
When it was
did
super
Bao,
easy to build a team really quick.
Yeah. I don't know if I can't commit myself to that anymore. It was a fun time. I was watching a lot of competitive Pokemon battle videos and I liked it a lot. Maybe me and Bao should fight again. I don't know. We'll see. So what Pokemon do we think is getting a special Regent variant, Mega Evolutions, whatever else have you? Anybody ever put any thought into that? Or
I think I'm torn between the starters because I'm like, they're either going to get new Megas or regional variants. They won't get both. Because like,
what makes you think they won't get both? They could get both.
dude, that would be. I mean, hey, that honestly, that's how you make. That's how you make Meganium better. You make it a regional variant.
Yeah,
and you
what's
give
his
it a
name?
Mega.
Cyndaquil or Typhlosion have a regional variant in Arceus?
Fusion did, but of
Exactly.
course he didn't get a Mega.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get Mega because they didn't have Mega in that game, but now there's Mega in this game. So I could see, the ones in this game getting a variant with a Mega.
Could happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
I mean,
I'm hoping they
it's
have new final forms and megas, but that's probably asking for too much from Game Freak.
I think definitely the starters will get megas, and then like we might get like some others to get mega evolutions as well.
Oh, what would be a twist? They actually get new like forms. Like Colosseum, or how you want to call it, forms. Like, okay, like imagine Bayleaf evolves into something that's not Meganium. Crocodile evolves into something new like that.
Yeah, I think that's what.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were going with the new forms, I guess, or something.
You mean like a Clodsire or Quagsire situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, they're not doing that.
So, as we alluded to earlier, people are getting a little bit upset about Pokemon still looking like a little bit like it's a PS3 game or a PS2 game. I've heard in some areas frame rate seems to still be choppy. Do we have any reason for this?
If you're expecting anything else at this point, I can't help but feel like it's on you. Like Game Freak has been upfront with like, this is Pokemon, you're going to buy it, so screw you.
Do we think that's literally the reason? Like there could be nothing else. Like it's like, hey, you're gonna buy it.
Well, they're on a short dev time.
How? But
Pokemon.
My question is why? Why would they be on the short dev time?
We've answered this before, though. Remember, everything with Pokemon is on. Pokemon with everything is on a cycle. The games, the cards, the merch, blah blah blah. It all has to be cyclical.
Oh wait, why does it have to be the cards come out with different? Like, okay, I guess the newest cards for the newest Pokemon would come out, but I've seen like the same Pokemon get different forms in the cards all the time. They're just released whenever. The anime does not like follow the story or follow the games at all anymore. Like, why is
simple answer? It's one big marketing thing.
It's all money basically, because think about it like this, right? You have the NFL games, right? The Madden games. Madden comes out, right? It doesn't really matter. They don't have to fix it. They don't have to improve it. They don't have to do anything. It will sell anyway. They'll have like booster cards that they sell in shops that kids will buy in the packets for Madden, and kids will buy it anyway. It's the same with Pokemon. It's just a thing that's gotten so big at this point.
So
people will buy it anyway.
Think
so
that even the developers have some type of
they don't care.
Sense of pride that I want to try to make the best game I could possibly make. Like I'm not going to half-ass this, and like I want.
Let me ask you a question. Shadow. When you're in work, right? You may have started off as a young, aspiring, whatever you do guy. Thinking, man, I'll be the best at this. I've gone to college and learned all this sort of stuff. And then you start there and you're in work and you just have to do your job. They just tell you do this thing and you do that thing. And then eventually they've sucked your soul out of you and you do as much as you need to do. And then that's it. So I think that's the same thing with the developers. They've trained to do this. They probably were fans of Pokemon at some point or the other. And then they join Game Freak and they realize everyone else here doesn't give a shit. And they're like, well, what am I going to do? So I don't give a shit. And just pump the thing out, people buy it, and then that's the end of it.
I'm just hoping it's not. Like I've agreed with that numerous times in the past when it comes to Pokemon, but I feel like there's got to be something else about it. I feel like it can't be. It can't be that this company is so exploitative that they just want to say bare minimum effort, maximum returns. Like you would think like after a couple of games, it's just like, all right, we can improve this by a substantial amount, and then for the next 3 games we half-ass it. But it's like every game is just half-ass.
I think we have to revisit this conversation next year when Gen 10 is out, because that is them taking longer than they ever had before, and then we'll see if the results are worth it or not. Plus, it's the big anniversary, new system. So, if it still looks horrendous, still runs horrendous, then yeah, they got some explaining to do.
I don't know why people say they have explaining to do, because yes, you could say they have some explaining to do, but I think Pokemon is too big to die. I think it's impossible. I think it is a behemoth of a
It's too-
series.
it's too big to fail, but it's kind of like, do you not have pride as developers? Like, look at Cyberpunk. It came out a buggy, crappy mess, and developers was like, you know what? Nah, we can't have that stand. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it better. It's like, where are those type of developers within Game Freak? Are they really not?
They're there.
They're there, but the thing is, like, you remember, they're doing a job. They don't own Game Freak. They're just doing a job. It's like there's every big game series that is like ongoing, that happens every year. FIFA, Madden, Pokemon, whatever it may be. There's always a guy there who thinks, man, we could do better, man. We could do this, or a few guys. But then you have the people who own the company, the higher ups and the shareholders and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it's just business to them. It's like just numbers on a thing, right? We've put the game out. 50 million people bought this game. We don't need to do any more. 100 million bought this game. We don't need to do any more. The day that they actually make a change is if people don't buy the game, and that's never gonna happen. Madden will sell every year. Pokemon will sell every year. FIFA will sell it every year. That's just what they do. They sell. So it just doesn't matter. Call of Duty will sell.
I think the solution here is to let someone else develop a game, like a mainline game,
like Bandai.
Because every time we get a side game like Pokemon Snap, or New Snap, I should say, or even like Pokken, even though a lot of people don't mess with that, the quality is at least higher than their games. But let Monolith develop. Let Monolith develop Gen, I don't know, 11 or whatever.
That'd be great. Yeah, they should. They should do that. Yeah.
That's gonna cost money though. Aren't they gonna have to pay Monolith?
I mean, yeah, but highest grossing franchise on the planet, like. Come on, like I'm sure you can allocate some of your merch money, your billions of dollars of merch money, to pay a company to develop a game. Like, come on, I know the Pokemon games don't make as much as the merch, but it's like allocate some of that merch money to some development. Like, come on now.
Okay, here's the question, Shadow. Like, okay, so we've got the podcast here, right? And we've got the nice little banners and the sort of like design with the gameplay in the background and stuff. What if we just allocated a bit of money from the podcast, right, to get even better looking stuff, so that the viewers can enjoy it even more?
I mean, that's nice. But like, I would try to do it.
Would you do it?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of what these companies do, they look at it from numbers, and they're like, most of the people already consuming this. In the case, like, let's using the podcast as an example, it's fine. Like, it's perfectly fine as is. Yes, it could be upgraded at some point in the future, but for now, it's all right. Everyone appreciates it. It's good. We can see the game on the screen. We can see the people talking. There's not really any sort of push to really just make that change now. Could happen later. I think with Pokemon and these sort of games, there is nothing stopping them. The only thing that moves them is the end users actually consuming it. In the case like with the podcast, if people stop listening to the podcast, then yeah, we got to change something. In the same way with like Pokemon, if people stop playing Pokemon, yeah, they got to change something. But if people consume it just as much and don't really, even if they complain, they still consume it, then I don't see them making a change. It just doesn't do anything for them. They're still making money anyway, and they get to keep more of the money.
That just a whole bunch of time passes, you would just want to just like maybe improve by just like a little bit, just so it doesn't get stagnant. But
they've got shareholders to think about.
We got a super chat. Oh my goodness.
We got a super chat from Ricardo Belmont, the homie, saying, kind of reminds me of how they only push Mighty Morphin Power Rangers over other Ranger stuff.
That's been a big point of contention in the Ranger series for quite a while, too. Especially around people that didn't grow up with Mighty Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's starting to become a big population.
Well, Power Rangers is dead now, so I guess it's a moot point.
All right. That's all I got to say about Pokemon. Still, I like it's a little perplexing to see. I hope when the Switch 2 comes out, at least when it comes out, I'm hoping at least it's not as buggy as Scarlet and Violet. I'm praying that's the case. Please.
I don't think
fine, choppy, whatever. But please
they
don't
also,
be a buggy mess.
For like the area as well, from what we can see, so it's all taking place in Lumio City. Lumio City is, no matter how you slice it, is not going to be anywhere near as big as the Paldea region. So I don't think they will have like that massive like area to contend with for developing.
I hope.
That's my biggest
about that.
That's my biggest gripe, really, is the fact that it's just one city. I kind of want to go to other places.
Like, how do you do different biomes with like what they said is like this? Like, I'm
Yeah.
very curious how they're going to handle that. Like, how do I find like fire Pokemon and I don't know, dark and ghost Pokemon in this place? Like, am I going in abandoned buildings? Is there suddenly like a volcano in Lumio City? Like, are we actually able to go outside of Lumio City and they haven't revealed that? I'm just curious.
There's gonna be a guy barbecuing in the back of his house, and that flame is gonna summon fire type Pokemon.
He may not be wrong.
All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about let's real quick go over it. I don't think there's a lot of us. I don't know how many Digimon fans are out there, but let's talk about Digimon for a second.
Yes, sir.
This seems like a friend. Listen, Pokemon over Digimon. I got nothing against Digimon, even though I say that. I'm just saying, like, I'm surprised this series is still going on. Like, I'm just like, damn, guys haven't quit yet. Even Yokai Watch decided to pack it up and leave.
Digimon's been probably as more popular now than it has been since we were kids. Actually,
You could be right. Yeah, I'm just surprised there's still a market for it. So a new Pokemon Digimon game got announced. I think it's called Time Stranger,
Yes,
and some people are very excited for it. I know Bao, you're a huge Digimon fan. Blake, like, what are you guys thinking about this new game?
So this is what we've been waiting for. This is the follow-up to Cyber Sleuth. It's not any other random game. So yeah, it's a part of the story series. So it's the new Cyber Sleuth. A lot of time has been put into this. Cyber Sleuth was literally 10 years ago, so this has been a long time in the making. I am very excited. This is my new most anticipated game of the year. I cannot wait to see what they do here.
So is it I'm not even sure. Is it turn-based or is it like
Yeah, it's turn-based. Story games are always turn-based.
Oh, okay, cool. Cyber Sleuth was pretty good. There was a sequel to Cyber Sleuth too, right? As well?
Yep, Hacker's Memory.
Hacker's Memory, yeah. Yeah, I always wanted to really dive deep into it, but just not a Digimon person, I guess.
I definitely need to play Hacker's Memory before this comes out because I've only played Cyber Sleuth.
So I guess for Bao, this is a day one. Do you guys think it's gonna make an impact, or it's just gonna come out like any other Digimon game?
Well, they're advertising it like hell for the first time, so it's
wow,
probably going to be the best-selling Digimon game. I'm confident in saying. If you go to Bandai's page, they're actually advertising not only this, but Cyber Sleuth as well. Like, oh, this is what Cyber Sleuth is like. You can check it out here. It's on sale, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of wild to see that they actually give a crap for once. Like, people are saying in the chat now, Digimon has always been the better property than Pokemon in terms of quality with their games, which is nuts.
You might be right. Yeah,
sad,
I can't even argue that. Definitely, and it's sad. And you know what? It's the quality is not even like, of course, not like AAA quality, but it's just like it's like average, normal, maybe above average, and Pokemon can't even get there. So it is what it is.
I think it's about which one came out in the West first. Because for me, I saw Pokemon first before Digimon, and so when I finally saw Digimon, it was like I thought it was a Pokemon clone. I was like, oh, this is a clone of Pokemon. It's a crap.
But there's still a whole bunch of people, even if they saw it first, Pokemon first. There's still a bunch of people that prefer Digimon over Pokemon. So
yeah, it's because Digimon took itself as a more serious story. It wasn't just, oh, this is an advertisement for other crap that we do.
I mean,
and also it's a difference. A lot of people got into Pokemon because of the games. Pretty much everyone is a Digimon fan because of the anime. So it's a bit of a different dynamic there.
I'd say I started to like Digimon as I got older. I think as a kid, I thought Digimon was a Pokemon clone. But the older I got, the more I was like, this has a much more mature story. I like certain aspects about it, and that's what got me to sort of like be more keen on Digimon. But as a kid, it just looked like a clone of Pokemon.
All right.
Which is a shame, since two wildly different concepts.
Yeah, know that now. Know that now.
I'm just fascinated still by like how a small Digimon could evolve into like a godlike angel, sexy looking angel.
Open to a mini fridge with machine guns.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. It's weird. Oh my god. So yeah, that's real quick Digimon. Yeah.
On the subject of Digimon, I uploaded a video to my channel talking about Cyber Sleuth and why it's so amazing. Everyone should check it out.
Oh, there you go. Instant plug. I gotta put that up so I can watch it later. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about let's get into it. Let's talk about Monster Hunter Wilds.
I'm playing it right now.
I am, relying on Bao and Blake for you guys to carry this. So,
I'll go for it.
We want to give us your thoughts.
Yeah, sit back,
this.
relax, close your eyes, put your head back.
Well, Blake's will be a bit more positive than mine, so you should probably go first.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so I know Bao is going to cry and moan about the story. I didn't hate the story. The story was fine. It was just really in your face, and it was very hand-holdy. I think it's just a byproduct of, they were going for more of a, AAA approach like they did with World. They're trying to get more people into it, more casual people, and the easiest way to do that is to, flashy cutscenes, a story, a narrative, that sort of thing. The beginning's painfully boring. As you get closer in, I found the cutscenes to be more engaging. Characters were whatever, but where it really comes down to it is that the gameplay is really good. It's very fast-paced. They've done a lot to essentially make it. If I was to go back to World after Wild, or if anyone was to go back to World after Wild, I think you'd notice a noticeable slowdown in the weapons. Everything is very fast. Everything has a lot more range of movement. Gunlance has so much more range of movement. What else is crazy about this game? The performance, the optimization, regrettably it's kind of all over the board. This is probably the buggiest. Well, I wouldn't say buggy, because it's not like I'm falling through the ground or monsters are like disappearing. It's more of just it's very intensive. I think Bao said the RE engine is not built for open world games. I think that was from an article for the creator. But they're still trying to use the RE engine for this. So like the models, usually for the RE engine, look really good, but for Wilds, they're not as great. It's kind of setting PCs on fire, and if you don't have a PS5 Pro, you're probably not going to have the best experience either. But it's my game looks graphically like ugly as sin. But it's a thing of when you're playing a action game like this, and you're in the heat of the moment, you won't notice the stuff around you. It's when you're getting from A to B and you're like, man, those rocks sure do look rocky. Yeah, it's like it kind of looks muddy. But again, it's, for me, I'm able to disassociate from that stuff and ignore it. It never really bothers me. I just love the game. I just love playing it. It's probably still one of the higher ones up there for me. Definitely enjoying it more than World. But I still think Rise right now is still my favorite Monster Hunter game, next to Generations Ultimate.
If you don't mind me asking, what is your spec for your PC though?
So I've got a Ryzen 7. I think it's either 2700X or 5500X, and a 3060.
3060. Ooh.
Oh wow.
3060.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Are you getting what's your frame rate?
My frame rate averages between 30 and 45, only dropping below that in very high instance areas.
That's unplayable.
Did you say 30 and 45?
That's unplayable for me.
Yeah, that's average for this game.
What is your resolution?
1440p for me.
The game just is horribly optimized, no matter what your specs are.
I'm running. I think for me, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like it's running at 60 to me. I'm
running it offline or online.
Hit Alt R.
I'm online. Let me see. Alt R.
While the game is full screen, it should show up.
I'm not getting anything. Alt R. Nothing top. Maybe let me check. Because I'm using an AMD GPU Radeon.
Okay, never mind. You're using AMD. Never mind.
Yeah,
they do have AMD FSR support in the game, so that's good.
I do have FSR enabled, so I don't know if that's helping or not.
FSR is basically just AMD's version of DLSS, so no reason not to have it on if you have an AMD card.
It says I'm averaging at about 100 frames. That's what it's telling me.
What resolution?
1440p.
Oh, okay.
So I'm averaging about 100.
I wonder though if that's just on menus and whatnot, because when you're in the actual field, the FPS is pretty sporadic.
The one thing I will say is I have dropped the game from ultra to high. I did do that, so I was getting lower frames in ultra, and I was like, yeah, this is not looking very nice, and I dropped it to high. So I don't know if that's what are you playing? How do you have yours, said Blake? Are you on ultra or?
No, absolutely not. Mine is it's a mix of different things. Like I had to really fine tweak it when I was running the benchmark, and I think I have like some like texture qualities like on medium, like the render distance on certain things. Yeah, it's very customized for my specific build, and I don't have like one specific I guess setting for it.
Okay.
Because even I tried I think I tried 1080p on high, but I don't know. I wasn't happy with that resolution. I wanted to do 1440p because my monitor is. So I opted for like a mix of medium to like low on 1440p.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Bob, what are your thoughts on Monster Hunter?
So, as Blake said, first and foremost, the game is horrendously optimized. If you go on Steam now, it's actually sitting at mixed reviews because people are just having terrible time running the game. So, as Blake also said, I do believe the story is trash, but that's not the issue. I didn't expect the story to be good. The issue is that you're forced to go through these like slow walking segments throughout the story where you just have to listen and watch while the game plays itself, while it sends you from A to B, and it's just not good. And it kills the pacing of the game. And that kind of continues up until you roll the credits, which 10 to 15 hour mark, depending on how much you're doing and stuff. So, but yeah, after that, you get into high rank, which is less story, more hunting monsters, and I'm having more fun with that. Because in my opinion, that's just where Monster Hunter is at its best, like the nitty gritty gameplay. The game is also bafflingly easy. Like, yeah, I'm a veteran hunter, but even then, like I was facing the final boss and Blake was there and I beat it, and I was like, huh, well, that was easy. And even high rank, where the game is supposed to get more challenging, I'm also finding not a challenge at all. But once again, I understand. Casualize the game, get more people into it. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like, I've accepted that fact. It's fine. I'm still having fun. But yeah, just the game has issues, but it's fun.
High rank so far has been a decent challenge for me. I actually failed my first quest last night.
I'm enjoying the fact that because I haven't played a lot of Monster Hunter in the past, so jumping into this and playing it, I do like the fact that it isn't as overly challenging. The only thing I find is there's a lot of exposition and a lot of reading, and there's a lot of just text just being chucked at you. This is a tutorial. This is a tutorial. This is a tutorial. I think that's the part for me that I don't like. Other than that, I think it's all right. I think it looks good. I think visually it could be better. Like right now, I'm in the map right now, and it's showing me 99 frames. I'm dropping down to 98 and 95, but
that sounds amazing to me. That sounds. I
think it's probably because of my just to be clear, my GPU's a 8600 XT. So it's a different one from.
Wait, what's the NVIDIA equivalent to your GPU?
I'd say maybe a 40. I don't know, maybe a 4070. I think one of the 70 series kind of thing.
And Bob, what are you playing this on?
3070 Ti. My frame rate, by the way, is averaging between 40, 50, I'd say.
Really? At what resolution?
Yeah. I am pretty sure I am at 1440p.
With DLSS enabled or not enabled?
Yes, enabled. I'm on high.
How the frack are you guys gonna? Maybe it's an Nvidia thing then. Because
like I said, almost everyone is having this issue. If you have a 4,000 series card, though, that's a high end. Most people don't have that.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's running though. It's running.
So all right. So for this game, I remember there being a beta, and the beta.
Oh, it ran way worse in the beta.
Yeah, the beta results were none too good, and it seems like from Blake's reaction, it runs better. But what do we think is the
It does.
big
Yeah.
culprit here? That it's just no matter what the time they had, I guess, do we think a delay could have helped the performance issues, or this was just inevitable from the start?
I think it's the RE engine, personally.
RE engine, just we said
Yeah.
that it's just not built for real
Because
life.
like Bao said, there was an article from the developer of the RE engine saying that it's the future of single player games and that multiplayer games like Devil May Cry 5 RE engine great, RE4 remake RE engine great, Resident Evil 2 remake RE engine great, like the Resident Evils, Dragon's Dogma as well suffered an issue like this. I don't know if you guys remember last year. Dragon's Dogma 2 is also RE engine.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. All right,
It's
But I-
just it's really not built for like these types of games. I don't think like high pace action. Like Devil May Cry is fine, and that's because it's a single player action. It's in like enclosed areas. Like I agree with Bao. I think it's just the engine is the issue here. Because look at World. World was the last game they made that wasn't on RE engine. Monster Hunter Rise was the first game they made on RE engine, but Rise, of course, was on Switch, and the world, like the locales were smaller, so it was fine. Same thing for World. World's locales were bigger, but they were on a different engine, so it seemed to be, for the most part, pretty okay. I'm not quite sure if there's any way to optimize this or what, if it's like an engine error. But
so did the developers come out and say, hey, we're gonna try to get it run better, we'll try to do more optimization and get some patches out there?
after the first beta, they said that they would absolutely have performance tweaks for before the game like launched. Like, and to their credit, they did. Like, my PC was not running the beta that well, but when I got to the full game, like I would say I was averaging on like this was like everything was at low. Like my game looked fucking muddy as shit. Like we're talking like early PS3 360. And it was still like giving me like 30 to 20 FPS, but I found that my settings, I could essentially like raise them up to medium to high now that with these different tweaks.
So unless you have a higher end GPU, do you guys recommend someone just get it for a console, like a vanilla PS5, or should it be a PS5 Pro? Or
Apparently, PS5 is
definitely.
having the same issues.
Because that's what I was
Yeah.
wondering. Because I would think the vanilla PS5, like, this is not gonna look much better than a PC, or run better
So-
than a PC.
If you're a crackhead and you were one of like the 5 people that bought a PS5 Pro, get Monster Hunter, because you finally have something that will actually put your $2,000 console, or however fucking stupid it was, to use. If you watch the Digital Foundry video on the PS5 version of the game, it's like they have balanced resolution and FPS mode like they usually do. I think FPS mode gets up to around 14 or 1600p, I think, with like semi-regular frame drops for the most part. But like the performance mode gets you to 60 FPS, which is impressive. However, the resolution they said went as far as 700p, down.
What?
Yeah, in their testing, which is crazy. So, like Acebreaker, if you're one of the 5 people that bought a PS5 Pro, make sure you use it to play Monster Hunter Wilds. But if you don't have a Pro, do not buy a Pro to play this game.
Getting somebody from the chat saying the PS5 base vanilla PS5 is not bad.
Yeah, I said it's not bad. It's just everything's gonna look really muddy and low resolution, just depending on what you have your settings tweaked to.
I told my brother to get it on the Xbox, and when he loaded it up, there were very few options for like what you could set the system to be at. Now, maybe some of it has to do with his telly and all that kind of stuff, but he could barely get what I would consider to be a high set. Like I was seeing in his settings menu like 40 frames per second and stuff kind of things there, and I was like, oh, interesting. I'm not playing on that. So yeah, I would say ideally, if you have a PC nowadays, I would still say get it for the PC, because with PCs you could always upgrade later. There's always a chance that you could upgrade your spec and you could improve that. Whereas with a console, like you buy some PS5 and you're kind of stuck with it. So yeah, that's what I would say.
So it would seem, even with all the performance issues, graphical hiccups, it didn't stop this game from getting a 90 on Metacritic, which is goddamn.
Well, I think most reviewers I think were playing on console,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a PS5 version.
and
PC
I think a
version
lot of
TBH.
reviewers were playing on the Pro because reviewers get the stuff for free, right? So
Yeah. So got a question for the longtime Monster Hunter players. It seems like I don't know when it happened, what game it was, but Monster Hunter.
it was World.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm going with it. Monster Hunter
Yep.
seems to be like it was a niche series, and it seems to have gotten finally to mainstream attention. Like where?
I think that happened
It was
with
World.
Yeah,
So
World is what.
it seems like a lot of other games would love to get that type of Monster Hunter, audience. So what did Monster Hunter do to finally get there with Worlds, I
It
guess?
casualized itself.
Yeah, it's pretty. If you look at like Monster Hunter before World and Monster Hunter after World, it's painfully obvious what they did. So they made everything like they westernized the series a lot more. They like first of all, it was also like the first time coming back to PlayStation since the PSP.
So, yeah.
I don't think they had any
Yeah.
Vita games in the West. I think they probably had a Vita game in Japan, but I don't think they had any here. So it was on PS4. It was on Xbox for the first time. I don't think Monster had ever been on Xbox. They showed it at E3, at the Microsoft and PlayStation presentations, and they just essentially like they really it's hard to explain, but they really catered to the Western audiences. They said cutscenes in story mode. They made turf warring was a thing where monsters fight each other. It's like they really showed the spectacle and like environments of what Monster Hunter could be off of a handheld. It's hard to explain, but yeah, like Bao said, ultimately they just casualized it and tried to appeal more to the Western audience because I think the main reason they did that was due to of course Japan's ever decreasing free time at home and decreasing of video gaming and all that.
I have a chart for you showing the sales between Japan and everywhere else in the world.
Convenient.
And it's kind of shocking.
What is it?
And posting it in the chat. So yeah, that blue bar is Japan sales. Green is overseas. And look at World, which is the second to last bar.
God damn.
Japan is which one, sorry?
I don't know if you can get that if you can get that on stream or not, or Shadow, but yeah, that's yeah, that'll do it.
My goodness, that is ridiculous. Actually, no, I can't get it on screen. So again, it's like weird, like it's because a lot of other games and even JRPGs or just games in general, they try catering to the West, and they haven't seen the success that Monster Hunter has gotten. It's a little bit jarring.
Monster Hunter is a lot more because it's an action oriented game. It's easier to get
Casuals.
To get casuals in, especially like the look of it as well. It's not very anime kind of, what the average person would say, cartoony. The average would, it's a cartoon game. No, like Monster Hunter looks. You could pass this off as, like in the same realm as some like Elder Scrolls kind of vibe. Like it's the characters look kind of real, even though there's a talking cat kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's the reason why it's a bit more palatable to the average Joe.
Yeah, it's like it started out niche as hell, didn't get that much US sales or Western sales, and then all of a sudden with World it just spikes up completely. Like even the previous Monster Hunter game wasn't that like nowhere near the amount of success for World. So it's like, did they do everything correct with World? They westernized it, they advertised it, they promoted the crap out of it. Like
it definitely got
impressive.
super well advertised, and this was also during the Capcom like Renaissance, where like Capcom was really like coming back. Like they had DMC5, they had Mega Man 11. Like Capcom was like on a roll. So I don't know if that contributed to it, where the average consumer was like, Capcom's making good shit again. Let's do that. Let's get on Capcom. But
god damn. That's ridiculous. We got a super chat.
We got a super chat from that boy Night Fury saying, also the cooking scenes go crazy, starting to make me hungry, dude. Monster Hunter has been dummy cooking even since 3 on the Wii, dude. Like it's like this pixelated Wii game. You're like, man, this game's whatever, bro. You go to cook, dude, and you see that homeboy sitting on the beach. He's got his steak, and he's just the music is playing. Bro hits that and he goes, tasty, bro. Monster Hunter has been cooking, bro.
Damn, bro.
Oh man.
So from here, so I guess performance issues, great rating on Metacritic, easily game of the year contender.
Nah.
No, this isn't even my top.
I feel like regrettably it will probably get ignored because it's first of all it's beginning of the year, so that's already got that going against it, and it's not FromSoft, so.
Oh man!
But also to think about what's coming out this year, if we got GTA coming out this year,
that's gonna
be there. What else is going to be there?
But at least it'll be nominated at least. So are we thinking that?
Nah. Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Will it be nominated? I think it'll get nominated for a category, but I don't think it'll get nominated for Game of the Year.
Okay, let me ask you a question right now, because I'm playing while we're talking, and if you're fighting something and something else attacks it, what do? You just let them fight it out, or do you?
If you see Godzilla fighting fucking King Kong, are you gonna go over there and start fighting? No, let them fuck.
So,
all right?
You can, but what you're supposed to do to get them to disperse is hit them with a dung pod.
Yeah, you're supposed to shoot them with shit.
Jesus.
Why don't just let them kick each other's ass and then just take out, just get just deal with the left behinds.
Because they only hate each other really during Turf Wars.
Oh shit! Okay. Well, I hope the one that I was hunting, that the other one kicked his ass enough so it makes it easier for me, because he ran off. All right, but continue.
Yes, I can see WildW's being nominated. Jesus Christ, for Game of the Year. I don't think it's gonna win, obviously, but
well, like
GTA definitely not gonna win.
But what about like maybe action game, maybe?
Oh yeah, for
RPG?
sure, I could take that.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
RPG,
easily.
maybe. I don't know. Can't think of what else big games are coming.
Keep in
out
mind as well, Elden Ring comes out this year. We already know that shit's getting fucking nominated for something.
Right.
Wait, Elden Ring? What Elden Ring?
Elden Ring Night Rain, their multiplayer game.
one.
Oh, that's a oh god damn, more Elden Ring.
Does that count as a new game though?
It's
Is that DLC?
It's a multiplayer.
It's
a multiplayer.
standalone.
It's standalone.
Oh, okay. All right. Elden Ring online game. I guess that was the next thing to do. Give it freaking what? Loot boxes, battle passes.
I don't know about all
good
that,
stuff.
but
It
It's
might.
gonna have though.
You never know.
It's gonna at least have battle pass at the very. It's online. Like, come on, they're definitely gonna do that.
Well, see, it's not free to play though, so I don't know if they'll do that. But even then, I guess it doesn't have to be free to play anymore.
It doesn't have to be free to play. It's still gonna have it. All right. Yeah, that's Monster Hunter Wild seems to be wildly successful.
Let me also say on stream before we move on. Now that Wilds is out, I'm very excited and I'm very curious how long it's going to take before we see Monster Hunter Stories 3, because I feel like Stories 2 did surprisingly well for Capcom, and there's no way that they do not want. Oh yes, dude, Stories 2 it blew up.
Really? Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, because it came out in that summer of 21. Like, we were still pandemic or whatever, but yeah, I think it sold like 2 million in like it's either first week or first month.
Oh damn.
Yeah, that's why they ended up porting it to other platforms, along with they did like a remaster of the first game last year.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
I love Stories 3. Very good game.
Yeah, like it was. Did you end up playing it? I can't remember.
I'm kind of like playing it off and on when I can. I'm playing. Wait, what's it called? Monster Hunter Stories Wings of Ruin or some shit like that.
Wings of Ruin, yeah.
Yeah, I play it like off and on, whatever. I'm like looking for something else to play, or I'm just bored. I don't feel like playing my main games. So, but from what I played, it was really fun. So.
Yeah, I think if they launch this next one, I don't know. I mean, first of all, Switch 2 is going to be out, and we know Capcom knows how to utilize the technology, so that'll look great on that. Or they can do multi-platform. I don't know. I'm really excited for that. Whenever that does come around.
All right. Okay, it's Monster Hunter Wilds. Wildly successful. Great game. Don't think I'll ever play it, but it is what it is.
Don't think you ever played. Why?
I'm not a Monster Hunter fan. Never been.
I've never been a fan, but I'm not gonna lie, Wilds is kind of cool. Like, just playing it right now.
I mean, you're playing it because somebody got it for you. Like that's about the only way I would play it.
If we buy in the game chat, he'll play it. Chat, come on.
And this game was what, $70 too full price?
Oh,
Yeah.
I got it. I got it for
Yeah.
45. I got it 45 on PC. It's cheaper on PC. Just to give you guys a heads up. If you get this game on PC,
free on
it's saving
PC.
money.
I actually
Oh,
didn't pay full price for mine either, just because sites have sales for games.
Yeah,
so.
you could get it on sale.
I got mine
CD
for
keys.
54, I think.
I paid 45. So but did you get like a special edition or something?
No, I got the base form from was it not GOG? Green Man Gaming.
Green Man.
Oh,
Green Man Fanatical CD keys. They always have pre-order keys on sale. Usually, like the week before the game comes out.
CD keys has the best ones I
Did
find.
y'all get all the DLC here? I'm looking at a whole bunch of DLC here.
Oh my gosh, the DLC for these games is usually just like free. It's like Trails DLC, but without the costumes.
Yeah, it's like you can apply this health item.
Okay. Super chat, I think.
We got a super chat from Shattered Glass 23. Do not recognize the name. Welcome in, brother. Monster Hunter
He's
Stories
cool.
2 is GOAT. In 2021. I agree. Stories, like I said, I had no interest in that game. They kept showing it every single Rise presentation, and I just wanted more content for Rise, and they would not shut up about stories. But eventually, it was the demo. They put out a demo, and the demo sold me. After playing it for an hour, I said, I understand it. I want to play it now.
What up, Shattered Glass? Great to have you here, man.
Glass is cool. We follow each other on Twitter.
Oh, nice.
I thought you said you fought each other on Twitter. I'm like, how does that work?
Well, I mean, you never know.
All right. Let's move on real quick. Let's go on to it's something that we've it's been announced officially for a while now, but we didn't talk about it. Let's talk about the Switch 2. Let's talk about
Hey.
talk about that console for a little bit. So it's been
Who's getting day one?
It's been
I am.
announced. And it looks like to be the same thing as the previous Switch.
Exactly.
Some people are harping on the name that it's just the Switch 2. This is a missed opportunity to call it Super Nintendo Switch or something like that. But I think they're playing it safe because of the debacle that was the Wii U.
With the Wii U.
I'm
Yep.
sorry,
Mhm.
the
I think they
dumpster
picked the
fire
best
that was the Wii
choice.
U.
I don't know why they didn't go with Switch U. Shame.
Yeah, you
Oh
know
my
what?
God.
God help us. So yeah, what do we think this console is gonna do? We think it's gonna take the world by
think it's gonna
storm
play
like the
games.
Switch do, or
Okay, so if we're talking about like new stuff it can do, one, we know about the whole mouse functionality thing. I can't be excited for that until I can see it like in practice. Like, what's the gimmick going to be used for? Now, what I'm actually interested in, I don't know if you guys saw, there's been some rumors about a second screen that can attach to the top. I want to
Yeah,
see what that's all about. If we can,
I'm very curious.
play
if
DS
that's
and
gonna be
3DS
real.
games.
oh, okay, that.
I'm
would
trying to say,
make
why would you?
sense.
Oh,
Oh, okay, that's
big show thing.
interesting. And it would be like a secondary proprietary thing that you're gonna have to buy. Probably cost like $80 to attach.
Keep in mind, the Switch 2 has a USB-C port at the top now as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, they're doing it. They're definitely doing it. That would be crazy. But again, like, okay, it'd be great to have some 3DS, DS games, but it's gonna be like a select few, and it's gonna be like remasters. So it's not like they're just gonna put like, oh, we're gonna put some emulated
Or it'll just be on the
3DS
Switch Online.
games. Like, yeah, but you'll get drip fed these games or something like that. So
I would
it's not
hope
gonna-
not, but you're probably right.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be games that we all want. I don't even know what's a DS game that everybody just like?
SMT4.
I said
okay.
DS, not 3DS.
Oh, DS game? Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Well,
That's not going to happen.
Well, it's the same thing. DS and 3DS. It's the same thing basically. But yeah, Shin Megami Tensei, that would be good. But again, that's going to be like a remaster at that point. If it's confirmed to have that screen, definitely will be a remaster.
There's tons of SMT games I would want to see, like Devil Survivor and SMT4. Like Blake said, the biggest one's probably the Pokemon games.
Easily, it would have to be X and Y. Well, they would do remakes of X and Y, but they're doing the freaking ZA, so it doesn't really matter. Black and White, no, they'll do a remake of that. So I don't know.
I think Pokemon companies if you look at like Switch Online and what they've done, I think it's pretty much they strictly only put spin-off Pokemon games on the service. Like they have Pokemon Snap on there, Pokemon TCGs on there, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 are on there, but they're
You know what I would be hyped
they're putting
for?
mainline games.
I'd be hyped for Mario Kart DS.
Mario Kart DS with
that.
online again would be kind of it had online, right? But I guess it was DS online, so it was kind of spotty.
It was the first online Mario Kart game, so it was a big deal at the time. Good times.
Yeah, super chat.
We got a super chat from Seven Kurgan. Chat. Now that Daybreak 2 has been released, when will the next spoiler cast for Daybreak 1 come out?
God.
How much have you left finishing Daybreak 2? Listen, chat. Listen. Chat. Shadow, allow me. Chat. We loved Daybreak 1 so much. We're just going to loop the two together because they're two halves of a whole coin. We're going to be doing a grand Daybreak 1+2 spoiler cast before the year is over. Mark our words.
Not you promising that in his place.
We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for both of them. It's gonna happen at end of, I don't know, but like when do you think you're gonna get back to Daybreak?
Well, I mean, I think we're in the same spot in Daybreak 1 now. I think we can probably. Oh man, but then Daybreak 2 happens.
Exactly,
that's
what I'm saying.
And then
I
Clear
know I'll be
Obscure.
done. I am literally gonna go to Daybreak. Okay, I haven't finished Daybreak 1 yet. I'm locked in. I'm playing it now. I should have it done by maybe early this week, hopefully. And then I'm going straight to Daybreak 2. I'm hoping to get that done in 2 weeks. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm looking to lock into that one before Atelier Yuma and Xenoblade Chronicles X comes out. So I'm trying to get there.
I think I can promise you I will have it done before the end of May.
Yeah, I was thinking end of April. I was thinking end of April.
See, because the thing is, it just depends on, because I have 3 days booked off for vacation for Xenoblade X, so I could, in theory, like beat that game in 3 days. We'll see, and then go right back to Daybreak. But Expedition 33 is the 26th of April.
Oh, shit.
So
Do you really
I
expect
want
to beat
to try
Xenoblade X in 3 days?
No, I don't. But it's wishful thinking. I think because it took me 2 weeks to beat the original game because I got it for Christmas and then winter break. But I'm also better at Xenoblade now, so it could happen. I'm not making any promises that it will. But
what's with the Trail slander in the chat? Trail, stop being slow and boring. God damn.
That's that's uncalled for.
You know what's interesting about that is though, but you gotta go in there expecting it for Trails to be slow at the very least. Maybe not boring, but you gotta have a mindset when you're getting ready to play these Trails games.
Yeah,
because if you're
when I went back to Daybreak, I was in the mindset that I wanted to play Daybreak, and I started really enjoying myself again. But yeah, like you said, you need to tell yourself that you're going back to Trails.
Yeah, exactly, and you need to know what all that entails. Like you're gonna have to sit there and read a lot. And it's going to be.
I say the thing that
pressing the A button all day.
The thing that actually helped me with getting back to Daybreak 1 is that I had just finished playing my first visual novel, so I had built up a tolerance for more reading, and I didn't really have as much issues reading Trails dialogue.
I know. I know Q can't relate to that, right, Q? I mean,
wow, no,
actually,
I'm fine with reading.
Wait, I think you can. It was slow and boring. That's why you kind of dozed off there. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna get into that.
I blinked.
Remember when Q wasn't Q complaining about so much reading in Monster Hunter, and you expect him?
It's fully, the crazy part about it too is that it's fully voiced. There's not really anything you need to read.
You know what, Q? You might as well just join the spoiler cast. You're not gonna get to it anytime soon. So.
Q's gonna be like, yeah, this character, I loved when this happened. Man, honestly, this is really cool that this happened. That they really did this.
But yeah, man, I'm finally finished Daybreak 1. Took a huge hiatus from it. I thought I was gonna be a lot faster with finishing Daybreak, but that wasn't the case. But I'm locked in now, and I'm officially behind in Trails games. I haven't been that way for years, but I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Hell, who knows with how Riku plays Trails games? I might be done. I might finish Daybreak 2 before him. So
that's actually true. That's actually kind of crazy.
All right. All right. So we were talking about Switch 2. What were we talking about for it? DS games maybe. We think it's gonna take the world by storm and sell like crazy, like the Switch 1 did.
I think it will. Just on this
I
name alone.
don't see any reason for it not to. It's fully backwards compatible. And then I work retail. I'm a manager at my local GameStop, and I've already seen a lot of people saying, "Is it worth it to buy a Switch now? If the Switch 2 is coming out."
They'll find out in a month when the reveal is.
It doesn't make any sense to buy
doesn't-
the Switch
not now.
when the Switch is out.
Dude, and the crazy part was, at Christmas time, bro, I absolutely was not telling people the Switch 2 was coming out. I was like, you guys want to buy a Switch for your kid? That's really nice. He's going to love that.
Yeah,
Hey,
just
hey man, you doing your job, bro. Like, come on, you gotta
Hey,
get
man,
your
listen,
sales up.
get that paper.
Hey, man.
horrible.
Yeah. We
Oh,
got
yeah, embarrassing.
We got another super chat from Sebastian, the homie with good Sebastian. Now, new bet queue. Can't finish Daybreak 1 and 2 in a year.
Oh man,
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, now you good.
I'm good.
I'm about to say, Q, as your financial advisor, I cannot recommend you take this bet.
Advisor is crazy.
Okay. Oh my God.
I'm good. I know my limits. It's all right. It's all good.
Okay. So with the Switch 2, do we think games are going to get a graphical leap, frame rate leap, or is it going to be updates, or are there going to be new additions to these games? Yeah,
You're talking about old games on Switch 2, yeah?
Yeah, for the most part. Like, will we see like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 maybe get a performance boost or something like that?
I'll be honest, I kind of don't expect it.
Really?
Because I don't think that's their priority. Like, you bought these games already. Who cares if you want them to look better or not?
I agree with Bao. I think so. The thing is that think about from like when it came to DS to 3DS or Game Boy that could play DS or DS that could play Game Boy games. Like in that case, I think it was more so emulation. But with the Switch was the first time in like Nintendo had partnered with Nvidia, and they have like DLSS supposedly in the next system. They haven't confirmed that. It's all been open leaks right now. But if it is more like a DLSS situation, like I feel like it's going to be more like a PS4 to PS5 situation where it's like some games will be subtly enhanced, but if you want your games like look at Bloodborne. Bloodborne could 100% run at 60 FPS on PS5, but FromSoft is not putting out a patch that unlocks the FPS. I think it's going to be something similar to that, where Switch 1 games will run better on the hardware, but it's up to the individual developer to put out some sort of patch that will make use of that extra power if they want to.
What if it's like what they're doing with like the PS5 remasters? Like,
they charge you like $10.
Yeah, they do that, and they do that for Tears of the Kingdom. Like, oh, get the new edition $10 update, upgrade or something like that.
See,
it's Nintendo,
I would.
So first it'd be 20.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Jeez.
I was gonna say I'd love for that to happen, but again, it's Nintendo. We all know Nintendo's like that. That's way too normal for them to ever consider.
Oh man. Do we think the Switch 2 will have a better, more intuitive menu screen or like main menu? You know, like some people say
more intuitive.
Switch, like the Switch menu.
You mean less boring?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be nice here, Blake. All right?
I think these companies just don't care anymore, honestly. Which is sad. Like, I don't know why they don't care about.
Bro, you all saw the PlayStation did for like this is so cool, and then they removed it and said, "We know you guys loved it. We're working on a way to bring it back, brother. You didn't have to take it away in the first place. You gained nothing by taking the shit away." But you know that's how it go.
Do I expect it? No. Would I like it? Yeah.
Because didn't they promise that they were going to give like themes to Switch or something like that? Or was that something?
They never promised it. It was just that the Switch has a specific themes page, and it just has white and black. So people were like, "Oh, they're gonna patch more of these." They never patch more of these.
So they promised. You see, if you make a whole page for something and you label it that is the promise, and they never kept that promise. Bastards.
You know, he kind of has a point. Why did they just name it like dark mode or light mode or something like that? They gave it the thing.
I mean, they very well could have. But the thing with the Switch is that it had such a low like RAM count. They wanted to prioritize when you hit the home button. There's no lag between your game and going to the home screen. I remember like there were some games that had to like re-optimize themselves for Switch. Sonic Mania, weirdly enough, when that game first came out, if you go back and you watch some of Etika's streams of Mania, he'd hit the home button and then it would like freeze and stutter and then go to the home menu. I mean, that was year one of the Switch, so it could have just been an issue with the actual Switch hardware itself. But Nintendo, above all else, was focused on, we want a UI that will be snappy, that will not lag when people are trying to get back into their games.
But the games will lag, so yeah, brilliant.
Well, yeah, honestly, fucking Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, that is the only game that like 1,000,000% needs an FPS boost, because dear God, 15 FPS is not, oh my gosh.
Game
I can see third parties doing like Switch 2 versions. You get an upgrade, like The Witcher's on Switch. I could see them doing a port of some sort. That, like,
I really don't think that these like higher frame rates are just going to be a priority for them. Because honestly, it's been a vocal minority who's even cared in the first place. Like, people are still buying these games, people are still enjoying it. So, from a Nintendo perspective, why would they even care? Like, yeah, they care, but as a priority, it's not going to be.
Shadow, you motherfucker.
Here's a question: if the Steam Deck was sold in stores,
minimize the stream as you play Daybreak 2 gameplay.
Like how the Switch is, right? So the Switch is so you could buy the Switch at Walmart or whatever. If the Steam Deck was sold at like your Walmarts and wherever else and so forth, do you think it would do similar numbers like the Switch, or you think like Nintendo just has that monopoly of the handheld market?
I think the Steam Deck would do pretty well if it was just sold retail, because it's just people don't, even if it is super easy just to go on Steam now and buy one, people just don't want to.
As long as you advertise it, yeah, it would do well. But I think you can't challenge Nintendo in that way, just because I don't think the average person who's like think of like not even casual gamers, like a level below that, like mom and dad's, like people that come into your store, Blake, like they don't know what the hell Steam is probably.
Yeah, mom and dads know.
But if someone comes in and they see, like, for example, like some bloke comes in and he sees, I don't know, like Grand Theft Auto run on a handheld PC, he's gonna be like, wow, I want to get that, right?
Yeah, he's gonna ask questions if you display it properly and advertise it. Like I said, it'll do well. Just Nintendo has a clutch on that now.
Noted.
So
noted.
Wasn't there an article that said like the Steam Deck sold this much and it wasn't good or something like that, or compared to the Switch, or the Switch will never have to worry about?
Actually, never looked.
Steam Deck or something like that.
Steam Deck sales.
I think like the thing is that the Switch has Pokemon, and that is such a big get.
They'll never have something.
As well as like, Nintendo exclusive stuff. I mean, the Steam Deck, of course, can play it on the Steam Deck if you know. But the thing is, I don't think the casual audience knows. I was trying to get rid of some like arcade cabinets they were selling at the store, and I was like, "Yeah, it comes with emulators. You just have to download ROMs." And they're like, "Oh, can you just like buy those on the internet?" I was like, "Guys, come on."
Trying to sell this thing. Like, relax.
So apparently, the Steam Deck has sold fewer than 1% of the Switch is sold. But
wow,
once again, I don't think you can really compare the two, though.
Yeah,
I say Switch is on track to beat the PS2 right now. You can't catch up to that success.
Like Steam Deck sales are estimated to be at 6 million as of 5 days ago, which is nothing. But
I mean, for a handheld, a new handheld that's not Nintendo. Or attached to Sony or anything like that, that's pretty good. I mean, how are the what's the thing called for PlayStation? The Portal? How are those sales?
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to show the sales of the Portal. I'll look it up, but I'm not expecting to see anything.
Didn't you buy one of those, Shadow?
I mean, I kind of low-key wanted one, but I was like, there's not that.
I heard the Portal sales were satisfactory for Sony, apparently.
I actually have a Portal as well.
At least in the US, it's an estimated 980,000 in the US, which is probably the biggest market. So, not great.
Whatever they wanted, apparently it was above that. So,
I mean, Sony is smart. They're not expecting that to sell crazy, so maybe that is a good number for them.
Yeah, they can't. Hopefully, they're not like Square Enix and expecting like crazy numbers for a niche thing. So I don't know.
It also hasn't dropped in price yet, right? So that's probably a good sign. It's like the VR dropped very quickly.
That's true. VR.
It's probably very cheap to make too, since it doesn't really have any internal things costing that 200.
That's true. Yeah.
It's just a screen. They probably made a. Yeah, it's just a streaming device. It probably was very cheap to make.
So when is the Switch 2 coming out? I think it was late this year.
They haven't released it yet, but some people are predicting the 25th of May for a few reasons. I'm thinking it's going to be June or July.
I'm about to say, I was like, May
find
is a
out
little bit
in
close.
1 month.
That's a little bit close.
I mean, Switch had its first presentation at the end of January, and it came out March 3rd, so it was only a month.
Okay, maybe. Let's see.
My main thing with the Switch 2 is I just need to see games. That's it.
Yeah, me too.
Like all this other stuff is extra. Just my priority is just fun games. That's all.
I just need to see
what game is
running consistently. That's all I need.
What game is a system seller for you? Like, what comes up for the Switch?
Fire Emblem 4 remake, which is
genealogy,
leaked forever.
So that one game comes out, and you're like, I buy a Switch 2. Even if it comes up for the regular Switch, you'd be like, yeah, I'll still buy a Switch 2 for this.
That's a lot of games, really. Smash, new Smash Brothers, of course. Like Pokemon, the second game is already confirmed. That's the Generation 10 is pretty much confirmed to be Switch 2, so that's going to be there. You know, like the future Nintendo games are going to be there, so it's like I already know I'm going to want one. You know?
Like I get that, but the way I'm looking at it is like if most of the games that are going to come out, like the early games are going to be on Switch as well. So like, would you?
I mean, Mario Kart 9 is already an incentive. We know.
Is it only on the Switch too, or will it be on Switch?
If it has 24 players, like he's hinting at, then yeah, I think it's only going to be on Switch 2.
Yeah, because it's got to be a system seller. So, the game that you get day one for the system. So they want to make sure that Good.
There you go.
No, I said they want to make sure that you get a game for your Switch. So it's definitely got to be a new.
I think Mario Kart 9 is easily going to be a launch title.
Yeah, it has to be. There's no way.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And of course, after how successful 8 Deluxe was, which still blows my mind, yeah, it's going to sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But see, I'm also curious. Part of me does feel like Mario Kart 9 will be a cross-gen release.
Really?
That's what I feel. I could see Nintendo doing cross.
Nintendo, like, they probably don't want to have to rely on the new Switch doing well when they have like what is the PS2 and their Switch battling at right now? 290 million units sold or something crazy like that.
Got a massive install base. They might as well just use it because there's a lot of people who have Switches. Like just last year, I had family members buy a Switch and asked me the same question: should I wait until maybe is there a new Switch coming out, or should I? I was like, well, there's supposed to be something coming, but it's probably not gonna. The games you're gonna play on it's not gonna matter to you. So you should get the Switch. Right?
Well, did you tell them the Switch 2 will play those games though?
No, the games they wanted to play, like they're not looking for like games that we play. They want to play like your Switch Sports and that kind of stuff. It's not really. They're not playing Zelda and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they're just
but the new system is still going to play that, so you might as well.
No, it was going to play, but it was like, for example, like the person I'm talking about is like my brother. He's buying it. He wanted to buy one for his kids, right? And it's just to sort of like play exercise games. He's picking up for Christmas. It was an easy sell for him in the sense of like, I'll buy this because he has like a PlayStation and an Xbox and all that kind of stuff, but he's not gonna play those sorts of games like graphical games and stuff on the Switch. He just wanted something that he could play Switch Sports and play around with because he had a Wii for the longest while for that same reason. So because of the fact of the type of games that he plays, I was like, dude, it doesn't matter to you. I mean, if you were playing like something really graphically intense, because you'll never use the full power of a Switch 2 if he's just playing Switch Sports. Like, it's just not necessary. So
I also feel like, though, if people are still interested in buying a Switch and don't want a Switch 2, they should probably wait a little bit, just because when the Switch 2 comes out, people are going to be selling their old Switches for very cheap, and even retail price may drop on them. I don't know if Nintendo's crazy enough to do that. Nintendo, they probably won't. But I still think, like I said, the value is going to be, people are going to be, like, selling their stuff for the Switch 2.
Interesting. I was thinking, now I'm thinking about it. Should I just sell my Switch OLED and get like some guaranteed money for the Switch 2? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you could if you got nothing else. Well, you got to put Xenoblade on, right? So,
is there a market for a Switch OLED right now?
Yeah. Is there a what?
Is there a market for a Switch OLED right now? Like, are there people out there like, oh, I need to buy a Switch OLED?
I mean, people always buy new consoles, but
yeah, but right.
I mean, like before every generation, people sell their old stuff and make money. So it wouldn't be a first time thing. Like even in not even like big stuff. Like Riku sold his WinMax before the WinMax 2 came out.
Yeah, I sold my first Steam
Your
Deck
Steam Deck.
for the
Yeah,
OLED.
I remember that. I remember that. I wish I did the same thing. Granted, I bought my Steam Deck when he bought your OLED.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you got a regular Steam Deck. I can't imagine what the regular Steam Deck feels like because it's heavier than the OLED, and I kind of hate.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I kind of hate lugging around my Steam Deck when I'm going to work.
That's the main reason I got rid of mine.
I kind of
It's
like
too bulky.
Yeah, I kind of like every time I put it in my bag, it's like an extra weight, and I gotta take a
Mhm.
train and a bus to my job. So it's kind of
Mhm.
like every time I carry it, it feels like I have something in my bag. I'm like, it's too much, man. I'm like, plus I got my lunch in there, and it's just like it makes my bag heavy.
So
I'm
it's like trying to fucking travel. Like you ever try to put your PS5 into a briefcase, bro? It's not working.
Yeah, exactly. So
The fucking fins on that shit. Oh my gosh.
that's why I have pretty
I
much
will-
I put my Switch now into
Mhm.
my bag now instead of my Steam Deck. And I'm like, that's way better. This thing weighs nothing. So I don't know, that's
Yeah, the
only
Switch is a lot more portable. The Switch is
Yeah.
a total lot more portable. But I will say the last time I traveled with I traveled with I think I had my Xbox with me, Switch, Steam Deck, and I'll be honest, on the plane, it was easy to take the Switch out, but I didn't want to play anything on it at the time. I wanted to play the stuff on the Steam Deck. It was just more fun to turn on the Steam Deck and sit next to someone on a plane and be playing Spider-Man, and they look over and like, "Ooh, what's that?"
well,
that was a lot more fun.
hopefully
so-
in a month I'll be on the plane going somewhere. So hopefully, fingers
It's fun until the kid next to you says, "You got any games on your phone?
You know,
You got Genshin Impact?"
you guys in the
Genshin
Zone
Impact.
Zero.
Oh god.
You know what? It's kind of like being the coolest kid when you have something like that. Like I went to one of my son's.
Okay, we're not going into
Sort of
a
like-
whole bunch of story, man. Like that. We're
No,
good.
okay, no story time
Yeah,
then.
no story
Alright,
time, bro. We're good. Alright, relax.
That boy Shadow shut that shit down immediately.
All right. Let's get to the last topic here that I got. Well, Daybreak 2 released a couple of weeks ago, I believe, Riku.
Correct.
So first of all, what is it sitting out on Metacritic? I'm actually pretty curious. I'm gonna look that up right now. But what are your thoughts on Daybreak 2?
It was
Non-spoilers,
time I
please.
Now spoilers. Spoiler,
Yeah.
do it.
77 on Metacritic.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it, obviously. Like we were talking about Shadow, it seems like when it comes to these Calvart games, the new writers and the team over at Falcom thought that it was probably a good idea to change it up a bit in regards to the formula of the first paired and second paired games that we are used to. And if you are unaware of how Trails usually sets up their games, first paired games, they usually introduce you to the location of the arc, set up the characters, introduce them, you get a little characterization, a little bit of character development, and sometimes they end on a crazy cliffhanger. That the second paired game reintroduces those characters, gives you more character development, and gives you the payoff of all of the stuff that the first game set up well, presenting new questions for either a epilogue game or the next arc. That's usually how it goes. But when it comes to these Calvary games, I'm not sure if you know how when someone, before they get into Trails and they hear about the concept of having to play one game just to quote unquote get to the good stuff in the second paired game, and then their thoughts are, why would I want to play a whole game where you're setting up for another game? I think Lady Public said that too. She's like, why the hell, that sounds terrible. Why would I want to play a prologue game? I don't want to do that. And then she's playing, she's loving it and whatnot. But the point is, I wonder if they were trying to change up that, I guess, somewhat of a stigma that the series has when people hear that they have to do such a thing, especially with the amount of games. So they're going to be doing it multiple times at the beginning of every arc. And with Daybreak and this new engine and at least at the time before the Sky remake got announced. It was being heavily advertised as this is the new best place to start. And
Daybreak 2?
Daybreak 2?
no, no, we're talking about. I'm just talking about the Calvar.
Sorry, I went to
just
pee.
talking about. I'm talking about the Calvar arc in general, just Daybreak in general.
Yeah,
just as
it's not the right place to start. But go ahead.
Yeah, but they were advertising it that way, and I'm wondering if when they created Daybreak 1, if you've played Daybreak 1, you may or may not have felt that this still feels like a first paired game, but there are things in Daybreak 1 that start to feel like maybe this feels like this type of thing would be in a second paired game. Like it's some very big heavy stuff that you don't really see in a first paired game, at least until the very end, where they hit you with like a cliffhanger and then rope you in. That usually happens at the end of a first paired game, but in Daybreak 1, you start to see that around like the halfway point. It starts to feel that way. You're like, what? Well, I really wasn't expecting such a thing in a second paired game. And like I said, I wonder if they try to take some things that you would usually see in a second paired game and put it in this first paired game, so that when the new people came in, they wouldn't have that feeling of, oh yeah, I'm playing a setup game. I shouldn't expect anything crazy to happen until the end of the game. Oh wait, something crazy is actually happening. I'm only halfway in. This is great. I wonder if that led to a lot of the positive ratings that Daybreak 1 got on Metacritic. It's sitting at an 84 for that. That's the highest rated Trails game in at least in regards to their original releases. So the PC versions of the crossplay games, I'm not counting those. But in regards to the mainline games on their original release on, let's just use PlayStation, since that's where most of the reviews usually are at. Yeah, Daybreak 1 is at the top at an 84. So with that being said, going into Daybreak 2, it seems like they're still doing they're doubling down with this like hybrid formula of making both a first and second paired related game into one game. So just like how Daybreak 1 at least felt like it wasn't necessarily a first paired game, it was doing stuff that a second paired game would do. Same thing with Daybreak 1, where Daybreak 2. Daybreak 2 doesn't really feel like a second paired game. It's doing a lot of stuff you would still see a first paired game do, but it also has stuff that you would see a second paired game do. So it seems like both Daybreak 1 and Daybreak 2 feel like they're trying to be this hybrid mix of both of the two, and that led to pros for Daybreak 1, but that may have led to cons with Daybreak 2. So I think that may have led to what we see the Metacritic dipping under an 80.
I thought it was because of how they chose to set up the story, and it's good.
I was going to get to that too.
Somewhat spoiled with it, but like it's just that nobody likes the way they set it up this time. So
yeah, and like I said, like I said, when it comes to detail, when I say the stuff that you would usually see in a first paired game, that's usually, what does that entail? Like I said, it's usually setting up the world, building up the foundation, more character driven related stuff while they're world building, and not really pushing the plot that much, because that's what the second paired game is for, right? When you play Daybreak 2, a lot of that is still happening. And like I said, when you go into your expectations of a second paired game, you're expecting things to pop off. You're expecting things to push the overarching story forward. Those are the things you expect from a second paired game. So when you see Daybreak 2 still building up the world of Calvard, and not in a second paired game type of way, in a first paired game type of way, and it's still fleshing out the characters and not like really pushing the overarching story forward. Like I said, I think that is one of the things that led to some people's disappointment. And I don't disagree with people's expectations being that because like what game is this? This is Trails 13 at this point. They have been they have set such an expectation for us to expect that from a second paired game many games prior. So I can't blame people for feeling that way.
So you think
On
the
top of
reason
the fact,
that it's bad, that people think it's not as good, is because it's setting up like in a dual
it's
way.
still it's
Uh,
it still feels like it's setting up a lot of stuff. Like I said, and that's usually of what a first paired game does. Second paired game is supposed to pop off, right? And there are things popping off, but it happens in locations that usually a second paired game doesn't do it. Like I said, additionally, we know from a development standpoint that this game was overlapping with Ease 10 in regards to the time Ease 10 was supposed to come out and the time that Daybreak 2 was supposed to come out, and they apparently needed a game to come out at a specific point, and Ease 10 was not ready. And so they told the Trails team to, hey, I know you guys are still working on Daybreak 2, but we need you guys to wrap it up and get Daybreak 2 out the door. The Ease team is not ready. They're not done with Ease 10 yet. So you guys got to wrap up whatever you're doing in Daybreak 2, wrap it up and send it out the door, and just get whatever you were going to put in in Daybreak 2, put it in the next Trails game. And this is apparently what happened during the development. So there's a decent amount of like portions of Daybreak 2 that feel either rushed or like I said, it's not really progressing the overarching story, so they kind of filled it up with like further fleshing out characters and doing character moments instead of like pushing the overarching plot. But it's still setting up a decent amount of stuff when it comes to the world. Heiyue seems to be getting a lot of preparation and foundation put into this one, which there's a lot of interesting stuff there. But like I said, that can lead to criticisms to Daybreak 2, which I guess that just makes you wonder really what Kai has to offer if it was supposed to be in Daybreak 2. And as far as I'm hearing, a lot of people have Kai in their like top 3. So apparently Kai is the game that everyone's hyped for. But back to Daybreak 2, some of the really good things that shine in Daybreak 2 is definitely on the gameplay front. If you know me, I'm a gameplay. I hold gameplay in a Trails game probably higher than your typical Trails player, who usually has story and characters and world first, and gameplay probably is like second or third or maybe even fourth if they're playing on like normal easy. I'm just here to play the story. I don't really care about the gameplay. Blah blah blah. Print it on fucking turbo mode and speeding through everything. They don't really care. Point is, when it comes to the gameplay of Daybreak 2, the stuff I heard about it prior was that, not speaking about Kai, but up to this point, Daybreak 2 seems to have the best gameplay in the series thus far. So hearing that, as someone who really cares about the gameplay, that was something I was definitely looking forward to, finding out if that's true. And, I put it on Nightmare to see if I could get a decent challenge out of it, because that was one of my biggest complaints about Daybreak 1, is that it was probably the easiest game in the franchise, even on Nightmare. It's easier than Cold Steel 1 on normal. But going into Daybreak 2, the challenge is definitely there. It's they definitely made it a bit more tough. I actually died like once, and I found myself incentivized to use a decent amount of Zerum capsules here and there. So I'm like, okay, the challenge is there, so that's good. And in regards to new gameplay features, they definitely added and refined a decent amount of stuff that I had issues with Daybreak 1. One of the biggest ones is the how the turn order system works in Daybreak 1. Wasn't a big fan of how it worked in Daybreak 1. They redid it to make it work a little bit closer to how it originally worked. You know how if you're playing Daybreak 1, you can't use an S break to steal someone's like crit turn. That's not how it works in Daybreak 1. Well, they adjusted that so that at least when you S break, you can take turn order bonuses away from the enemies again. So little things like that really did add to the gameplay of Daybreak 2. They have some new stuff like using arts on the action, which if you're using it in tandem with all of the other stuff, that can be very fun. They have a few other features that I won't spoil for people who want to see the new stuff, but they definitely added a handful of other stuff that I've probably been asking for from a gameplay standpoint since like all the way back in Sky. Like, oh man, that would be cool if this ever was a gameplay feature, and they actually added it in Daybreak 2. And I was flipping out when I saw such additions being added. So that's probably some of my strongest highlights of Daybreak 2 is from a gameplay standpoint, and it's fucking great. I love it. So that's cool.
Okay.
But yeah, Daybreak 2 is I'm enjoying my time with it, but I can understand the criticisms that people have with it because yeah, the way they set it up is just it has to be the sacrificial lamb apparently when it comes to Falcom, how they were releasing the games, and hopefully all the hype for Kai is worth it. But I'll leave it at that. Yes.
So like, you know, me actually going in and playing Daybreak 1 now, I just feel like Daybreak 1 at least is filled with so much experimentation to take the series to a different route, especially because we're going to a new region and new characters and whatnot. So they really wanted to experiment a lot. I think they even experimented with Van, like his character for the most part, like him being like this cool, laid back, chill
veteran, like
like he really is
Know-it-all.
a big experiment. Like I feel like I almost feel like he's catered to be liked by Western people. That's why I feel like Van is. It's a little bit weird. He kind of reminds me of Futaba in a way, because I don't like Futaba because she's so manufactured to be liked by us gamers and us otaku anime loving RPG. We talk about people like they're NPC nerds. That's why I don't care for Futaba that much. And I'm kind of getting that from Van a little bit. Van, I don't know why I keep saying
Van.
I was saying on for a long time too.
Yeah, so it's interesting how they did this series, how they did this these set of games as experimental things. I still think the action portion combat, I don't know how they tackle it in Daybreak 2. I think again an experiment. It's not really needed all that much. It's just for people that think they're doing more before they enter the turn-based combat, and it's just like if you play it in a traditional RPG sense and you attack them from behind, you could still get the bonuses of getting the jump on the enemy. It just lets you be a little bit more engaged before you do it, or you could just take out the enemy if you want. But
I can definitely agree with that, especially since, like I said they created the action so that you can get through the fodder enemies a bit faster instead of just using turn-based and putting it on turbo mode, which they said they have seen people use turbo mode just a bit less. They still use it, but which is why it's still an option, but they've seen it has been used a bit less this go around. I have a question. How did you feel about the action gameplay in Metaphor? So I haven't played Metaphor, so
I don't even think it's like I feel like stuff like it's not really. I don't even count it that much. It's not doing that much. All it is just to get the jump on the enemies or to kill the enemy on screen. Like if he's really low level.
I agree.
There's no real depth to it. It's just the way to get a preemptive strike. It's not doing anything.
Yeah. I wonder if these games that are experimenting with action in their turn base, if they're going to keep it surface level so that it doesn't eventually outdo the turn based side, or are they going to continuously get to a point where it is like equal, if not better, than playing the turn-based side of it? Because as far as I heard, Kai continues to flesh out the action side of it, just like Daybreak 2 did. So
I think they ultimately want to get away from turn-based. To be honest, that's what they all want to do.
Which is interesting. I mean, I don't know why.
To a lot wider audience. That's what they want to do.
No. I'm just saying, like their initial response to that was always, if you wanted to play action, go play ease, and if you want to play turn-based, this is where Trails is at. So
They
it's
need
like,
them sales too. They need them
yeah,
sales,
it's
sales to a certain extent. Maybe they don't need to sell like a Square Enix game, but they need it to sell. So if we're gonna make a game, and again, cater to the West for the most part, because the West kind of is your biggest audience. You want to cater to what they
yeah,
like.
you saw those Monster Hunter sales, so I mean,
Yeah.
you can't ignore their West when
Yeah,
they will show up and financially support
Those
you.
motherfuckers on the West don't got anything to do with their lives aside from games, so you gotta appeal to them.
yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah,
But, yeah.
So yeah, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I'm enjoying Daybreak 1. I have a lot to say about it. I'm not sure if I want to make a video dedicated to Daybreak 1 or just make Daybreak 1 and 2 into one video. But I got more negatives to say about Daybreak 1 than positives, I think. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I really am enjoying my time with it. It's just, man, there are just so many things here that I just don't like. I'll tell you right now, I've told you, Riku, before in the past, the advancement of technology in this game, it really bothers me. I don't know why it does, but it bothers the crap out of me. How fast things
Yeah,
are.
I don't know how you're hung up on that. We know when we had mechs and all that.
It's weird because like they have all these modern conveniences, and it's like, why don't I see any like home with a TV? Like they don't have even TVs in their homes. They still using radios for some reason. I'm like, what is going on here? They got cell phone. I don't know. Anyway,
They got toilets.
It bothers me. They got highways. They got freaking movies that have freaking fan bases. That
you
takes
say they
years
don't.
to
Well,
develop.
hold on.
It's weird.
I just remember they have a convenience store, and in the convenience store, they had TVs in there. So I guess they just didn't have them in the houses, but TVs do exist.
I don't know how they're just not in houses though. I don't know. It's weird because like I'm reading up on it more now, like the Opal Revolution, and I'm just like, it still takes a long time to like perfect some of this stuff. It's already perfected. That's how far they're going. I don't know, but anyway, more negatives than positives. But ultimately, I still like the game. Ultimately, still would recommend the game. Just it's a Trails game. Just know what you're getting into. Okay, it's a starting Trails game. Know what you're getting into. It's gonna be a slow start. You're gonna be reading a lot. It is what it is. All right. That's all I got for today. We got anything else we want to talk about, or we want to wrap this up?
Xenoblade, I guess, is the last big thing we didn't talk about too much.
Xenoblade. So wait a minute. They got new trailers. I haven't even watched anything on Xenoblade because I really
They have
wouldn't
like
be surprised.
3 or 4 trailers out for X.
Like I like what's going on with it? What's the new features that they're adding to it? I guess
There's a lot of new shit.
So the quality of life changes for you specifically, Shadow, Mr.
Let's
I
go.
hate mapping out the game.
Let's go. Hate mapping. Mapping sucks.
Yeah, you're no longer required, Shadow, to map out the game to progress.
Yes. Let's go.
That boy's gonna have the game done in 2 days.
I'm gonna have that game done so fast. Let's go. And I also heard that you don't have to. I vaguely remember this in X. That you actually have to go to the party member to recruit them.
Yeah,
to get them in your party
took
or
that
something
out.
like that. How stupid was that?
There's a thing that if you need an item for a quest, it'll just like tell you where it is now.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah.
Party members require less EXP and to like level up their affinity and stuff. Everyone gets experience even if they're not in the party. Just a whole lot of crap.
Interesting.
New skills, an entire new story segment at the end that you have to beat the game first to access, which I'm the most excited for.
It's like think like Future Redeemed or whatever it was called.
Futures Connected, Future something. Goated game, probably my favorite game. Probably in my top 10 RPGs of all time. I don't know. Yeah, so like I don't know. I see a lot of people coming out about Xenoblade X, even though I feel like when it first came out, there was a lot of hate for it. You think it's gonna do numbers this time around? I guess
Easily,
yeah. Advertising the hell out of it. I think it's actually similar to what you said about Graces, where this game is going to be more appreciated this time around, 10 years later.
I think X only failed or did as bad as it did because of the platform that it came out on. I think now it has.
I disagree. I think it's because it was coming from Xenoblade, like where it's like fancy, like mystical, like you have like mountains and lush forests, and like it's very JRPG-ish. X was like you're living in a town called New LA, and you've got like you were controlling like I think it's just the setting was a little bit of a culture shock to Xenoblade 1's fans. Now, if you've played Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3, you know that's like this is normal. But
I think a lot of people are also knowing what they're getting into this time via like the story being a bit differently constructed.
yeah,
Like, I see a
That's
bunch
another
of
thing
people
as well.
warning newcomers, like, yeah, don't expect the same type of storytelling. It's more about the gameplay this time.
So you think that if X had was released for, I don't know, like the Switch, the original Switch, with just as it was, not the Wii U, you think it wouldn't have done well? Because I really think anything, what game that came out for the Wii U was like did really well because the Wii U didn't sell.
Splatoon.
Mario Kart 8.
Splatoon was a phenomenon in Japan.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the Wii U was one of the biggest factors.
You also
as to
got
how
to keep
that
in
game
mind,
did.
Xenoblade was not a household name 10 years ago.
That as well. It
That is
only
true.
had one game at that point.
That is so true.
It wasn't
You're
in
right.
Smash yet. People weren't popping off for the series just yet. I mean, I was popping off. I was ahead of the curve. But better late than never for the rest of you, besides Blake. He was there too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hear you.
All right. So what do we think there's some like revisionist history is going to go on with Xenoblade X? Like you guys said, it will be appreciated more. But
Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't even call it revisionist history. I would just say it's just that people who, let's say weren't even alive at the time that came out or weren't old enough to play RPGs. Because keep in mind, Xenoblade X, like, isn't 2015 the 10-year anniversary of X?
Yeah, it's 10 years old.
Yeah. So, yeah, people who just simply either didn't have a stinky ass Wii U or just weren't old enough to be into RPGs at the time. Yeah, no, I think it's going to do crazy.
I also think people are going to appreciate the soundtrack more this time because people hated it on release.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, people hated the soundtrack, and now it's gonna be like, oh my god, this new LA theme is amazing. Oh,
I wouldn't go that far.
Come on, the new LA theme is amazing.
Nah,
That
dude,
shit is
that's I'm gonna fucking cut my ears out. I swear. That new LA theme. Oh my gosh, please just get it away from me.
Talking about, man? It's good.
Ooh, I can't see you.
Yeah,
I can't see you.
Yeah, let's go.
Shut the fuck up. I hate that song so fucking much. My dad would walk into the family room and just start humming them like that. Don't fucking start humming that. Don't. Dad, stop, please.
Yeah, let's see it. We
We got a super chat from Cranberry. Oh, $50 super chat. Let's go, Cranberry.
Big
He didn't
boy
send a
super-
message. I'm sure he'll send one in the chat soon.
Ah man, thank you, Cranberry. You always out here being so.
Oh, he did say one. He said, "This one's for my homie Blake. I love him so much. He's honestly the GOAT, and you guys don't appreciate him enough. Please send this to him right now, live on stream. For everyone to see." Thanks, Cranberry. Man, what a guy. I love that guy.
Wow, that's a very descriptive super chat. Interesting.
It is very descriptive.
I'll take it under advisement. Great. Thank you, Cranberry. Appreciate the $50 super chat, man. Unbelievable. I love it so much. Thank you so much. All right. Anything else? Was there anything else? I mean, like, what was like the real crazy stuff that went on? I think Fable 2 got delayed. A couple of studios shut down.
Oh, there was a lot of studios that were shut down.
I'm worried about
Honest
Fable.
is.
I'm worried about Fable because it was supposed to come out this year and they released pre-alpha footage at the same time.
That's what I
Do you
said.
trust that game is gonna be good, though?
That doesn't make any sense. How are you releasing pre-alpha footage? And this game was announced like what, 5 years ago? At this point, what the hell have you been doing this whole time? That made no sense.
Spinning tops in mud.
We also got another super chat from Your Hot Mixed Up, $5 super chat saying, thoughts on Sonic Unleashed fan PC port. Oh, Shadow, I don't know if you probably don't keep up because you're on the circles, but someone like a fan just essentially recompiled Sonic Unleashed from the ground up for PC. So it's like officially, it's not officially by Sega, but you can play Sonic Unleashed from start to finish now on PC with a bunch of quality of life changes like disabling the Werehogs battle theme.
Why is the fans doing work?
I'm telling you, bro.
Should be?
Sega don't gotta do
No
shit.
sense.
The fans will remaster their games for them. Damn.
Like, why don't they just hire these people? Like, well, what's going on? Just put them on retainer or
So-
something like that. Like, what the fuck?
Actually, I meant to ask you this, Blake. Is it on PS5? Because I saw a video of like when you turn to the Werehog, the like light on the PS5 bar changes. Or is that just something they added for the PC port?
I would imagine if you just play with a DualSense, because they did add controller. I think they added haptic feedback as well. I think that's just something that happens on PC. Because I mean, I don't imagine that the PS5 hacking scene is good enough for that to be a thing yet.
It's interesting that you could do stuff like that, like just on PC.
Yeah, you will not find a more dedicated community than the Sonic community.
Just go.
Yeah, I want to unmute. What was that Sonic game? Sonic 06, the mod one. Did they complete
Project
that
06?
one?
Oh, yeah.
Project 06. They completed that one, right?
I think it's like, so you can play through all the stages as Sonic, Shadow, and Silver, but he's still currently working on implementing cutscenes and boss fights. But aside from that, yeah, all of the stages are fully playable now as Sonic Sonic, Shadow, and Silver. So the meat of it's there. It's just like, it's not like quote unquote the full game, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Another great fan project.
I was on mute for a while there. Did I say thank you for the super chats?
You did.
I don't think so. You can say it again.
All right, no, I'm just making sure I thank Cranberry for his super chat and your mix for his super chat as well. Thank you guys for the super chats. I don't know when I went on mute. All right. Let's see. So what do we think about? So let me ask you guys a question. Like, it seems that there was a thing going on. Like, you know, you could have a really successful game, but all of a sudden the company kind of shuts down or they lay off a whole bunch of people. Is that normal, or is that just like
No, that's a new
It's
thing.
normalized, but it shouldn't be.
that seems so weird? I think it was Marvel Rivals, right? That it's successful.
Oh,
Laid
the
off
clar-
their yeah.
So to clarify
Yeah.
that wasn't the dev team. That was like a marketing team here in the U.S. The dev team is in China.
Oh, okay. It was a marketing team. Oh, okay.
And I'm curious, they haven't talked about it more, but from their wording, it doesn't sound like it would be the case, but I'm curious if they just had like a fixed term for like the first like however many months to get the launch off the ground, and then like their contract ended. I don't imagine they would have worded it like that if that was the case. But I mean, you never know. A lot of people nowadays are just disingenuous and they just say what they want to try and spark cancel culture amongst different things.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it was like a marketing team, or even it was a development team that was just under contract, and their contract just expired, and it's like they didn't renew.
I'll say I don't even think that team that was let go was responsible for any like translation or anything either. I think they were strictly just a marketing team from what the community note said anyway.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
The original devs are still intact, and that game is still popping off. They just released the other two Fantastic Four members, and yeah, still love that game. So much fun.
I don't know. Maybe I gotta play it. It's too much. It's too big to fit on my hard drive. So we'll see.
It's also
All right.
crossplay. You can play it on your console.
Oh yeah, I do have it. Okay, yeah, okay. All
Free to
right,
play.
guys. All right, I think that's all we got. We're gonna get up out of here. Chat, we appreciate you guys still coming out for us, even though we are inconsistent. Part of that's my fault. Hopefully, I can get my living situation down and I can provide more podcasts at a more frequent place, or at least when there's major news, we can definitely come and go live. But thank you guys all for participating in the chat. Thanks for all the super chats. We're gonna get up out of here. Let's go with the outros. Q, go ahead.
Ooh, I'm first today. Well, thank you very much for having me, and thank you for all of you for listening to us and all that kind of good stuff. There wasn't a lot of waifu conversation today. I'm unfortunate. I blame the rest of my my co-hosts here on this podcast. But
Lord.
That being said, we are all here, co-hosting this thing together. I think that's how it works. I don't know how you call it, a cast. Anyway, that being said, there is one waifu I'll just want to shout out. And she is in Monster Hunter, and you guys know who she is. She looks like a Viking, cool hairstyle. I can't remember what her name is. She looks amazing.
I want to shout her out. Can't remember who that bitch is, but I love her.
Yeah, exactly. I'm new to the game, but she looks amazing, and she is waifu. And also, the character created in Monster Hunter. Man, why do they only allow us to do faces? We can't just change their body types. This is weird. I don't understand that. But that being said, this was a great podcast. Enjoy being here. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
All right, Riku.
Riku's-san one, the only one. Thank you guys for showing up. Keeping it short and sweet so we can get out of here.
All right, Bao.
Thank you guys for coming out to another podcast. Can't wait to see you guys again. It'll probably be after the Switch 2 reveal,
Yes,
like
sir.
for the software. So that'll be fun. Once again, I have a new video out talking about Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. So check that out.
All right, Blake.
It has been that time, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I don't have anything to shout out because your boy is so just caught up in life, and just don't have time to do anything anymore, really, outside of just gaming. But yeah, I'm gonna be streaming Xenoblade X when that comes out. So if you guys want to hang out, I'm probably gonna be doing like triple 12-hour streams of that game. Yeah, if that's cool, then yeah, go over to my Twitch page. Other than that, yeah, great to be back. We're gonna have a good year for gaming and for the podcast. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out.
All right, guys, and you know me, Mr. JRPG Shadow. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. I'm still a little bit shocked that Cena turned heel, but I'll have to get over that.
That's crazy.
I mean, it was insane. I mean, like I was watching it, and I was like, "Oh, Cena hit Cody. Oh, okay. Oh, now he's beating the hell out of him." I was like, "Oh, wait, Cena? John fucking Cena went heel? God damn! What timeline am I in? Anyway, all right, guys, we're out of here. Peace."
See you.
Spoiler cast for Daybreak coming in May 2025.
Hopefully.